What's up, YouTube? I'm Mike. Today we're trying why did it change colors? Nevertheless, what's up, YouTube? I'm Mike. Today we're trying an experimental live stream where I'm trying to experiment with live streaming with my wife. I've made some rather contentious content lately, and we were going to. What I would really like to do is for YouTube to pull their heads out and allow us to each go live from our MacBook so that we can have two complete screens. This apparently is beyond the capacity of the YouTube engineers in 2024. So what the only option that we have is to go live on both of our cell phones. So we're gonna sit here in the same room and attempt to discuss whatever anybody who joins wants to talk about. But for starters, I made, like I said, a rather contentious video. Hopefully, I don't know. I wonder where the microphone in this thing is. Hopefully the audio, I feel like the audio has been decent on this streams, right? See, like right there, you can see that it's not so terribly loud. I made some rather contentious video today about marriage that obviously I was making for the young men in my audience, people who are not married. I was very clear at the end of this video that I got one of the good ones. I was lucky enough to get one of the good ones, which is very uncommon. Sarah had some things that I think she might like to add, specifically about wedding rings.
Oh yeah.
So have at it.
Okay. I heard him. So I'm in the other room listening to this, and to be fair, he did warn me that he might make this video. So I had been forewarned, but I'm sitting in the other room listening, and he was talking about engagement rings. And I also feel like the engagement ring thing is a little bit unfair. It's certainly unfair, but I think it's ridiculous, to be honest. But regardless, I remember that when I got married the first time, I got the guy that I was dating was like, he just bought this condo, and he was like, I'm short on cash. I just bought this condo, and he borrowed some money from me. And what I later discovered a couple weeks later was he borrowed the exact amount of money that he spent on my engagement ring. And so,
so you bought your own engagement ring?
I bought my own engagement ring.
Yeah.
And I was very happy with it. It was fine. It was great. But then when Mike and I were dating, I had been pretty clear, like, the ring is not, I don't need that. That is not something, I felt like it was a waste of money. I did not need that. And I was talking about, let's get hand tattoos. Let's get the rings tattooed. That this is the kind of commitment I'm making to you. Like, let's get them tattooed. So we even talked to the tattoo artists that did not do hand tattoos. They were like, you're not going to be happy with it. It's never going to be good. You're going to hate it. And they just wouldn't do it. And so even this one guy was like, I know a guy who will do it, but he's in another state or somewhere, another city. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was something unrealistic.
He was like, I definitely would not recommend it.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got married. And I'm sure you've told this before, but when we got engaged, we were we'd already bought this house, or we were in the process of buying a house, and we were packing our old house. And while we were packing, I was packing our old house and trying not to be really pissed that the guy I just was buying a house with was sitting in there on his fucking computer and not helping at all.
In my defense, I had taught myself to write Python script, and I had decided that I wanted to marry this woman. And so it's going to be marriage number 2 for both of us. So, there's a little bit lost in that, it's different than the first time. And I was trying to come up with something unique. Like I said, we just bought a house. We put a bunch of money down. We're already like jumping out the window on this deal because we've been together for a year. This relationship has every reason in the world to fail. And so I had learned to write Python script, and I wrote her a Python script proposal. That's how I proposed to her. I was feverishly writing this computer program that she would have to run and then answer these questions that only she would have the correct answers to. And then at the end of the program, it would run this script that would be my proposal. And I coded an engagement ring in ASCII text at the end of this is what a dork I used to be. So I'm spending half of my day playing Battlefield 4 with this guy named Longshanks. And he's flying, we're like a helicopter team. He's flying helicopters, and I'm the fucking missile guy in the second seat. So half my day is spent playing Battlefield, and the other half is coding this proposal for her in secret while she's getting increasingly pissed off because I'm not helping pack the house. So
that's how we got engaged. So there was an ASCII ring. That's what I got. And I was very happy with it. Although I still did want him to help, but regardless, I was very happy with my ring on the computer screen. And then so a month later, we woke up on a Monday. We'd actually been fighting all weekend. I know y'all are shocked. And he woke up on a Monday morning and he's like, let's go get married today. And I was like, well, okay. So we did. We got ready for the day, got the kids. We went downtown, and they gave us they let us, because there's a 3 days. You had to have. We
had to get a waiver or some shit for the waiting period.
So we're downtown Dallas, running from one building to the other to get the right, stuff signed.
The marriage license and the waiver, and
so then right before the judge walked out the door for the day, he married us real quick.
Yeah.
And we don't even have a picture of our wedding.
No. We have our 2 kids as witnesses. This judge is literally in his office, and he like throws on his gown real quick, or like the whatever the thing is. And we're standing there like the fucking 10th floor of some office building. And
the boys were exhausted from running around downtown. They're like, oh, let's just get this
over with. The thing that was so great and kind of unfortunate at the time is you could tell from the expression in this guy's face that he's like, these 2 motherfuckers have no chance of making it. Like these people just rushed into a marriage with 2 minor children at 4:45 in the afternoon on like a Thursday, whatever. This is definitely not going to make it. Here we are 9 years later.
Yeah. So anyway, the point is that there was no ring, and I was really very happy with that. And especially because I had the ring before. Actually, I still had the ring from my first marriage, and it was, and I had paid for it. And I, it's not like you reimbursed me. And so anyway, we've been married for a while. When
what even brought that up?
I don't know. I came home from work one day, and you and the boys were sitting at the table, and you had a gift for me. And I'm like, oh, a gift for me. I don't know. I didn't know what it was. And it was 2 rings.
I had surprised you with the whole thing?
I had no idea I was getting a ring. None.
That seems unlike me because you're so picky.
Well, you knew what I liked already, but
I think I'd been fact-finding mission.
I don't know, but regardless, I had no idea. So
yeah.
I came home from work, and he had a ring. He had this ring that had these black heart and then 2 silver hearts, because it was him, and then the 2 little hearts were the boys, because we were making a family together. And then he had my engagement ring, which was the diamond solitaire and the white gold that I love. And so,
and then the bridal thing that goes around it.
Yeah, we didn't get that till later.
Oh, was that right?
Yeah, I helped you with that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
then.
I did.
Okay, that makes sense. I couldn't figure out how I would have done that on my own.
No.
So I picked the solitaire, and then you picked
the black diamonds.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we got married, that was the thing. Like I was a biker. Like I told you, I showed you guys my biker vest, and so we were planning on having this whole like leather and lace type like after ceremony. Like we were gonna go get married, because again, it's your second marriage. Like, can you really? Like, get your parents to do it all up for you a second time.
Let's be honest, your first marriage was at the courthouse too.
Yeah, but I mean, they did come off like a lot of money in like wedding presents or whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Can't really get like tapped the wedding present the second time. Anyway, so we were just going to do like a private wedding and then have family over. We had talked about doing a hand fasting ceremony. That's the thing. We had talked about all of these things. And I'm the kind of person, like, I hate planning for shit. Like, this is the first live that I have ever done where I even gave like more than 5 minutes notice. And you guys got like 30 minutes notice this time. I just like do shit. And so I just wake up one morning and it's like, I want this in life. And I woke up one morning and I was like, I want to marry this woman. Boom, same day, done. So
we got the ring. He gave me the ring. And then,
but for all of you in the audience, don't do this. That was the whole point of the video.
Yeah.
Just because this so far has worked out for us, don't get married. It's a bad idea.
So he gives me the ring, and then a few months later, or a little, not very long later, we're having a huge blow up fight. It was like, it was terrible. And so in this fight, but we still had separate bank accounts and all that. And in this fight, I was given an ultimatum that I would give him all of my money in complete control, or I would never see the kids again. So I did. And he used that money to pay for my ring that was on a credit card. So I now have.
That was one of the things that happened with that was one of the things I bought with that money. One of the many
things that
it was the ring, a whole bunch of computers.
The deal was, if you give me this, I'm going to pay some bills with it. It was like $15,000.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, it was like maybe, but it was exactly $15,000.
It was $15,000 I took out of her bank account.
So he was like, so you're going to give me this money, and I promise I'm going to use it to pay bills and do things. I'm not going to use it on anything else. This is what this is for. And so I didn't have any choice. Well, the choice was do that or be gone. So I did that, and he promptly bought a bunch of shit with it. But anyway,
the reason I did this, I don't want to rehash this whole thing. I had some doubts about the truthfulness of her fidelity, not so much necessarily to me, but the truthfulness of her supposed, I've only been with one guy in my life story, because of like this. We went to this restaurant. There was this guy there. I basically did not trust her. And I was like looking for some way to like test to see if she was trustworthy. In my fucking demented world, it was like, if this girl's lying to me and she's not really committed to this relationship, there's no way she's going to give me 15 grand. So here's a good test. And she's like, okay, take it. Wait, what? Take your 15 grand? She's like, take it. Okay. And then I think I got mad at I think I sat on the money for a little while and then got pissed off at her about some different shit, and bought like me and both my kids brand new gaming computers. I was a dick. There's no doubt about it. I was a fuckhead.
Regardless.
But yeah, that's how it happened.
So now I've purchased 2 engagement rings for myself. And
so this is why you don't get married.
Yeah. This is one of the many reasons.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you don't have to be, it doesn't mean to skip out on a long-term relationship. Like if you want to be in a long-term relationship, that's great, but marriage is not necessary. I think that, and we said we weren't going to do it. We also said we weren't going to get married in the beginning. You were like, I don't believe in marriage anymore.
Yeah, we're never getting married. Yeah.
And
I wanted separate bank accounts.
Yeah.
I wanted you to work. I'm going to work. And then slowly but surely we collapsed into the traditional family, because that's the truth of the matter is that's what we both are. Is traditionalists.
And I even was like, okay, he was like, I'm tired of telling people you're my girlfriend. Like,
yeah, that does suck.
Like, and then I'm like doing all this stuff with the boys at school, but I'm the girlfriend. I don't have the same name. And we were talking about now, like I should have just gone and changed my name. That's what I should have done. Everybody
hang on. When we're done with the story, I'm gonna get to all the comments. But yeah, that is admittedly, and now maybe things are different now, but one of the things that I will admit, like when people, the guy who originally asked, I think it was Al something that I made the original video, Al Murray 2000 or something. He's like, what are basically the other advantage to marriage? And this is a minor advantage for all of the risk that you take. But in the professional world, it does look a lot better for you. Like career wise, if you're married and you've become, it is decidedly a better look than being like around the office at 35 talking about my girlfriend.
But when you were not married to Amanda, you just told everybody she was your wife.
Yeah, you could just easily just tell people you're married. And that's what you should do. That's exactly what you should do. Like if you're in a committed long-term relationship, don't go get the paperwork. Just present. See, if you do that, they'll common law your ass.
Oh, that's
you
right.
Can't do that. That's one of the risks, guys. If you're a young man, do not throw "this is my wife" term around lightly. So I don't know about different states, but in the state of Texas, a woman can claim common law marriage if she can show any written evidence that you referred to her as your wife. So if you've been dating and living together for 5 years and you send her a fucking anniversary card or a birthday card or something, and you say, you're the love of my wife, you call her, you refer to her as your wife, that shit right there can be used against you in a court of law to establish a common law marriage, and she can be entitled to half of your shit. So be very careful the language you use. There's all kinds of sneaky ways. That's why, like, the guy that I used to work for, and I beat this company up enough. The guy that I used to work for, he was in a really bad marriage, and he got divorced, and then he got into a relationship with another girl, and they're basically husband and wife. They've been together for like 20 years, but they both maintain separate residences, separate businesses, separate bank accounts, because both of them have had failed marriages, and they both got effed over in their divorces. And so they've been together for 20 years, but they are not married, and both of them have said they will never get married again.
Well, so even the thing is, for me, like we were talking about today, like the number of we would not be married. We would not be together if we weren't married, probably. Yeah. And so there's so much to the splitting up that, so I'm glad we're married for that reason. But at the same time, it's nice to know that the person you're with is with you because they want to be with you, and not because they're going to get fucked over in a. That's the thing.
And that's what I meant in my video when I was talking about the second you get married, you and your partner give away your autonomy. What I really meant to say is that when you're in a marriage like Sarah and I are in, where to some degree we are both trapped. Like, we're not, we could both get off our asses and go, make it happen for ourselves. But it isn't ugly. It would be a lot of work. And so you could get into this feeling like this person doesn't really care about me. She's just with me because she's trapped. And if it was easy for both of us to go our separate ways, then we have a million reasons to know that this is not true. Like, we would not spend the amount of time we spend around each other and survive all of the things if we didn't obviously care about each other. I'm just saying that is one of the things you give up when you get trapped into a relationship. You can never really know, is your partner there for you, or she's just waiting for the fucking kids to grow up, or she just doesn't want to go back to work. It's a lot of stuff. So we beat that to death. Let me catch up in the comments a little bit here. Oh, thank you, Ambidextrous, for on the mic check. Corey Clark, what's up? How is the mint? Deca is awesome. Was wondering how you like mint in comparison. I'm gonna give you a quick. I talk about this in videos a lot, so I'm gonna give you a quick rundown. And I would like for somebody to fact check me. I think that it's possible that I am the only person who has or is documenting a trend mint nandrolone cycle. I have looked online, and the closest I got was a Tony Huge video where he was talking about running trend, test, and mint. And he was doing some absurdly high dose, but he even admitted in this video, it's on like Vimeo or something instead of YouTube. I randomly came across, had to Google search looking for this to see if there was a Reddit post, if there was anything on the internet of anybody ever using 319 Nor compounds. And he was not using 319 Nor compounds, and he admitted he was only going to do it for 2 days as like a gag. So I would be interested to find out if anybody can find any other evidence of anybody who, am I blazing a fucking path that no one has blazed? Right now, I feel fucking amazing. The mint, nandrolone, trenbolone, test, mass, proviron, all these things that I'm on, I feel as good as I've ever felt. I was super crazy fucking manic, massive energy yesterday after I increased my dose to 10 milligrams on the mint. Today, it's already massively declined. I think tomorrow, I think within 4 days, I will not be feeling the mint again. It seems to be that I only really feel it acutely on the come up, but it is definitely making my body look wild. Apparently, we just came from Walmart. We were buying our kids some just cheap swimsuits because they grow out of them so fast. Because my son suddenly got invited to a pool party out of the blue, and I got hit on by 2 old ladies. One of which I was on Discord the whole time I was in Walmart. I'm walking down the aisle, just completely buried in Discord, and all of a sudden I hear somebody out loud go, "Oh my God." And I turn around, and this woman had to be 60, 65 minimum. And white woman, she's just, this old lady is just looking at me. And I look at her and kind of smile, and she goes, I was like, what the fuck? I usually get comments in public, but since I started this mint cycle, it has been getting out of control.
Today, while we were at Walmart, he'd already gotten hit on by a couple of ladies, and then the kids and I are down one aisle, and he was a couple aisles over, and these two young girls come in, and they're talking about, like, did you see that guy? And they were talking about that guy with the big muscles and whatever. And then he comes around the corner, and Allie's like, "Daddy," and the girl looks at me, and she's like, "Oh my God."
So yeah, it's definitely working on my physique. Thank you, Justin. That's a nice comment. Justin says you're gorgeous. I'm happy for you, brother. You both deserve each other. Hello to everybody who has said hello. Let's see what we got here. Does your wife take Tren? Chris T, does your wife take Tren? Do you take Tren?
I don't take Tren. He would love for me to try Tren, but we cannot handle that because in this house.
What we're gonna do, I think this is gonna happen eventually. I think what she's going to do is try Nangela. I think she's going to try Deca. I think eventually it's going to happen. So Deca is a progestin, is just like Trenbolone. I think that's the right term. And so we're going to see how that works with her body. Nandrolone, Trenbolone, there's a lot of similarities between these two drugs, and there's a lot of differences. So in her body, she's going to get a little bit of aromatization to estrogen. She's going to get a little progesterone activity or progesterone receptor activation, and then she's going to get the anabolism. So she can take Nandrolone and not have to worry about any of the sides that I have to combat. So Nandrolone could be a really great compound for her. And I think that's what she's going to try. I think I'm going to try to talk her into getting off the Primo and running Nandrolone in its place. We may start with a small amount of Nandrolone, and if it's going okay, phase the Primo out for like a bulk on Nandrolone. That's what I'm thinking. You can see from her face that she's shocked by this information. Yeah. She's convinced.
Every time we change something, it goes back.
She's convinced that the libido that she's experiencing is just like that. She thinks that Primo is like the end all be all. And you have to admit, she has very little experience. So I think we're going to probably try Nandrolone.
But what I know is that isn't the birth control has often the birth control pill.
Yeah, but you can't compare that.
That kills.
Yes, for reasons because it crashes your testosterone, but that's because it's a micro dose. It shuts you down, and then there's not enough androgenicity to fill in what it knocks out. Whereas we're not talking about this micro dose of a 19 NOR. We're talking about a substantial dose. So you're going to have more than enough androgenicity provided by the 19 NOR testosterone to offset any kind, because you're already shut down anyway. You're taking estrogen, you're taking estradiol and progesterone anyway. Yeah. So this is just going to be adding a little bit more of everything to the mix. Every time I touch that, gotta run World Star Lift. Gonna run 50 milligrams a day, Trestolone with 600 Tren a week, 3,000 tests. Holy fuck, bro. Definitely keep us posted on that cycle. Oh this is the guy who was in the last one.
You're not married.
He was in the last one with some crazy fuck ass doses. I fucking hated calling Josh boyfriend for 16 fucking yes, Jen. That's the thing. Like that being able to say my wife definitely does feel better than girlfriend. There's no doubt about it. One of my buddies said you got to run tests 3-to-1 ratio to your Tren. That's bullshit. World Star Lift. Everything. All these ratios are total horse shit. I promise you. There's no ratio you have to run. All that matters is that you manage. Excuse me. Every fucking video, dude. It's like I'm allergic to the screen. It's just all day. I don't notice. Every one of these compounds has nothing to do with ratios. It has everything to do with being able to manage your estrogen and your prolactin. You can run any combination. It doesn't fucking matter. Look at Josh in here saying hi to Jen. Josh and Jen in the Discord are out of fucking control. Here you have to file for common law, like proof of address for so long, or letting someone talk you into filing taxes. Yeah, Jen, there's all kinds of little hooks. Living together, like there's like multiple pathways to common law. Living together in some places like 5 years, automatic common law, which is why I said
6 months.
Which is why I said you have to maintain separate residences, separate bank accounts. Don't call her your wife. There's a million ways you can get cracked.
Don't file taxes together.
Don't file any, nothing official together, nothing. That's why if it's not your wife account broke, don't show her your bank account. Yeah, I definitely, money should be totally separate. I've been married for 12 years and holy shit, I'm going through it, homie. Sorry to hear that, Jay Bucku. Jay Bucku. Yeah, dude. Sometimes, we've been married 9 years, and sometimes, you guys saw the shit on YouTube. We were going fucking through it real recently. Would you like to talk at all about what happened?
Do you want to talk about it? Do you want to rehash?
I don't want to rehash it. I'm just giving you the opportunity. I'm giving you a platform. You could put in whatever words you would like.
I will say
you had a bit of an anger outburst.
I did. So I would say I'm happy to say that Mike was coming up, I guess, and pissing me the fuck off. He was so mean, and for several
days. Did you hear that voice?
And so anyway, I think every time this happens, Mike says, he says, okay, all of my thoughts are like the things that I'm upset about are real, but usually it's next time I'm coming up on trend, you have to know this is the hormones. Like, don't take it too seriously. So I keep trying not to take it too seriously for a few days. And then eventually it's too much. And so I'm much snappier on the primo. Yeah. The androgens make me really
agitated.
Yeah. And so I'm less patient as it is, but I still think I'm pretty damn patient.
Yes, you did very good.
Anyway, but I'm much more aggressive in my responses. So Mike has a whole thing about ear rape. So he's like, he tells me that if he tells me to shut the fuck up and leave him alone, that if I continue to talk, that it is the same to him as if he was to come to me and he was to say, give me sex right now. And I was to say, no, and he was to force it, which he does not do. He does not do. That's not, but I'm just saying, like, he's like, so he calls it ear rape when I keep going at him, which is my problem, a huge problem for me. And so anyway, and so he at one point called it ear rape. And then anyway.
So what did you do?
Well, on day 4 or something, I'm not saying exactly what I did because I get in trouble for that.
Okay, you don't have to admit exactly what you did.
I was physical with Mike.
You got physical
on his.
You attacked me.
I lost my
mind. You lost your mind.
Even looking back on it, and it was. And the weirdest thing is, so our marriage has been violent in the past, and it's been a long time, a real long time. And I am not a very violent person at all in general, but I put my hands on my husband. And
would it be fair? Would it be fair to say that I caused you to misbehave? That my behavior was so inflammatory
for my behavior
that you lost control.
Whatever you want to say, but I don't hold you responsible for my behavior. I hold me responsible for my behavior.
Fair enough,
but I hold you responsible for your behavior.
But you got baited.
The point is that yes, I got baited, and I was dumb enough to follow it. And so the point is that the weirdest thing about the whole thing, so it scared me immediately.
It shocked the fuck out of me.
And so I'm like fucking horrified and crying, and he didn't do anything.
I didn't react at all, dude.
And it was like
physically attacked me.
This house, like, in fact, Allison was talking about it the other day, like, oh yeah, that's from when Daddy was mad and he broke that thing, or that's when Daddy's mad and it's like, hey, he had slammed the door and broken the door frame, and he's like, we've got a couple doors like that. There are tons of things around here that he tends to get mad and like throw the wrench on the ground and break the tile and like those kinds of things. He didn't even do that. So here he is coming up. He's been so angry, such a
mint trend, all this.
Like, I cannot stand this man. I'm just trying to hang on for dear life. And then I was completely out of line.
She was unhinged.
And he was, and I was doing that thing like that you see where women are like, just screaming out, like, I mean, it was totally crazy. And his response was to get over here and let me hold you.
The thing, yeah. She attacked me. Here's what happened. Okay. This so that you understand, because y'all know I have no fucking self-control. What happened was her behavior was so massively out of character, and the level of her rage that was displayed on her face, I could see that it was the fucking roids. I knew that what she was experiencing was she was totally consumed by roid rage, and she was acting. So it was like, it was easy for me to let it go, because what I didn't feel like we really had a problem. Like, if this had been a normal day and she'd not been on any shit, and she had done the same thing, it would have been totally fucking different.
Well,
but I do believe that while roids don't make you a different person than you are, she has violence in her. It's in her heart. She's been violent in the past. Okay. She usually keeps a clamp on it, and the roids exacerbated it, and it came out. And so I'm not going to, like I'm always telling her, you got to basically take anything that I say or do on a trend come up with a grain of salt. Like, you can't really take this to heart. And so I led by example, and I didn't take what I saw you roll your eyes. I can see you in the camera. You can't roll your eyes behind me. I'm watching you.
So that day in that argument, when he was telling me that I would, whatever, all the things he was saying about how I would fucking get in line and whatever, and that he was going to lead, I was like, maybe you should lead by example. And then here he is, like,
I don't remember you saying that. Get out of here. No, I don't remember you saying that.
You were telling me you didn't have to lead by example. I lead by fear.
Well, I'm sure I'm just telling you, I genuinely don't remember you saying that.
Well, I scared myself.
See?
But regardless.
Yeah. So that happened.
And then it was over. Look at that.
See? And when you don't.
I'm always saying, when we're fighting, I'm always like, I stay calm. And you bait me for days on end until I explode. And then it's over. And that's exactly what happened.
Look at that.
I'm not saying but I exploded and then it was over.
Yeah. What I did. Okay. So that's covered. Let me get caught up here. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Where was I at? Leverage for the woman de-incentivizes her to be on her best behavior. I don't know what that's really to. I think we all want to meet my dude, Wiz, if you come from Australia, can we get a workout in? Probably not, bro. I'm just gonna be honest with you. This is one of my biggest fears in life, is that I'm gonna run into somebody from YouTube and they're gonna be like, bro, let's get a work. I'm so asocial. Like, when I go to the gym, I can't even stand my own kid. Like, if my son comes and asks me 3 questions in the middle of the workout, my son kept coming to me in the middle of our joint workout, asking me questions, and then I got to pause my music, take my headphones off, disconnect from like the zone that I'm in. And I was like, dude, if you have a fucking question in the gym, text me. Okay. I'm in my phone. I'm in my lift. I'm in my fucking music. I'm in my place. This is my fucking therapy session. This is not playtime for me. This is serious shit. If you need to talk to me in the gym, just fucking text me.
So how many times did he text you?
He quit. He fucking left me alone.
Do you know who he texts?
You.
It's me.
Oh, let's see. 4 a.m. in the UK, and I'm watching this Trendsomnia. Oh, the Trendsomnia is for real. You left out Jen Green. You left out a scenario with the story earlier about smacking Sarah. My money is on that Primo taking over and Sarah winning that fight. Yeah. Did you know what she's referencing? What she's referencing there in the video I made, I was giving the example that if I was, for example, if I was to jump up, go out of control and come in the other room and smack you, you would leave.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you wouldn't call the cops, but there's like a handful of things that would make you leave. That's one of them. But yeah, I don't think she would fight with me. I think she would immediately pack her shit and leave. Mike is blasting
his. That on camera.
Huh?
I'm glad you said that on camera. So if anything ever happens, it's totally self-defense.
Yeah. Mike is blasting a cycle that no one has ever ran. I think Chad, is it Chad? Can I call you Chad? What is this? Yeah, I think that is, I think I might be. There's a 0% chance Sarah could ever physically harm Mike without a weapon being utilized.
That's true. And
hey,
that is
she's crazy strong.
That is one of the reasons that I'm pro-gun. Because
that's
that is not fair. So in this world that we live in, and I don't know if you've ever talked about this on your channel, but you've said this to me. We talked about this a number of times, I think. But in the world that we live in, where who said that? Somebody said, women only have the power that men give them.
Yeah, there was like this reel. Go ahead and make your point. I can feel it.
My point, it was this really interesting reel that no woman wants to hear, but it's totally true.
Do I need to insert this now?
Go ahead. Yeah.
So the reel is basically this guy basically explaining to this feminist that there's no possibility for there's no possible world where a woman can have equal rights to a man. And she's like, well, why not? And he says, because all of the rights you have, men gave you. And she's like, well, I don't understand why that would have anything, what bearing that has. And he was like, okay, for example, let's say we give you a bunch of rights, and then some group of men decide not to agree with this. You don't have the power to force men to give you rights that he doesn't want to give you. So all you can do as this feminist is call a man to come stop this other group of men from violating your rights. There's no world where women can have any kind of real power because men are always going to be physically dominant over them, which is why I think the point she's getting ready to make or talk about is this is why I cannot understand for the life of me why every single woman on the face of the earth, certainly in America where it's legal, doesn't own a firearm. That is your equalizer. That's the one thing you can do to balance the equation. And the left wants to outlaw them.
They're also bad for all the men.
It's yeah, it's insane to me.
Yes, that was exactly the point I was about to make.
Oh, see, we're totally in sync. Sarah looking like, no, I'm not. Lol, I don't know what that was for. Deck is nuts, definitely elite. Oh, Matt Simon, thank you very much. I'll go ahead and get to that since you just popped up with it. Does steroid use increase red blood cell count? Yes, it does. Almost definitively. It does seem to be more prominent in some people. I can run large quantities of gear for long periods of time, and it's really hit or miss. Like sometimes my red blood cell count will go up in a short period of time. Sometimes I can be on for a very long period of time, and I'll automatically assume that it's high. I didn't have a way to check from home. I now have a meter that I can check my hemoglobin from home so that I know whether I need to donate. Some people don't think that donation is necessary. My thing is that I never want it to get over about 18. For one, I start turning purple. More so than I already am. When I have my tren rages and like my skin turns blood red, it will be very purple when my hemoglobin gets up like 17. And here, if it were to get up to 20, for whatever reason, I would not be able to donate the blood without going to get a prescription. And so I don't know if it would ever get to 20, if it's a time thing or what would lead to that. But basically, every time mine gets to about 17 or so, I just go donate. So I usually donate once or twice a year. And so, yes, the steroids will increase your red blood cell count. But unless you're like on like me all the time, it's probably not going to be a real factor. Weren't you two doing OF? Yes, our OF is still alive and popping, actually. We have not, I'll be honest with anybody, we have not uploaded new content in months. So basically what happens is when the tren is in a sufficient dose, like it is now, or with the mint, I get real excited about showing her off. That's just one of the weird things that tren does to me. I don't know why it is, but tren makes me very exhibitionist. I actually told her today, I don't know if I should admit this. I told her today, because we're trying to maximize all of our revenue streams since I still don't have a job and I'm unemployable. I am flirting with the idea of making another separate OF page that's just me. Obviously for another audience. I doubt any women are going to look at it, but I really am flirting with the idea of making solo male content. Apparently there's like guys that like want to watch dudes like lift naked or whatever. There's all kinds of kinks, right? And it's like, I'll shoot some shower videos or whatever gets paid. So there might be a third OF coming up very soon. I don't know. We still have it. It's up. I disconnected all the links because I was trying to get a job. It seems that it doesn't matter how many things I hide, try to secret, like people are finding it one way or the other. And so I may put the links back up. I haven't decided yet. It's still out there, but it does not have new content on it. Doing 500 test C, 150 Deca. Should I cycle Nolvadex? I'm going to get a bunch of people giving different opinions. I don't use Nolvadex. I don't like SERMs. I am straight an Arimidex guy. I've had a lot of people trying to get me to use Aromasin. Cavalcer's sort of become my kind of like my coach, honestly, recently, because I'm running Mint at his recommendation. So he's been staying in contact with me in the Discord. And even he admitted today, like for my purposes, when I'm constantly tinkering with estrogen, or when you're constantly moving doses around to where your estrogen has a lot of fluctuations, Arimidex is really the best drug because it's very rapid acting and it's a lot easier to fine tune things than something like an Aromasin. Nolvadex, I don't like because it's a SERM. So it's a selective estrogen receptor modulator. It's not actually lowering your estrogen level at all. It's just blocking its ability to bind to the receptor. And I think that's very dangerous. It's not just dangerous. You're still wasting your gear. So if you inject 500 milligrams of test C and you're not taking Arimidex, then some portion of your test is being converted into estrogen and is being wasted. And that estrogen is still in your body systemically. So just because you block it from reaching the estrogen receptor, it's still in there and it's still wasting your test. And so I would rather just control how much estrogen is in my system rather than try to block it from doing its activation. So I would only ever use Arimidex, or maybe if I was on a long-term steady cycle that I knew I wasn't going to be fucking with my doses, maybe in that case I would try Aromasin. Thank you so much for the input. She's got a good attitude, bro. My wife is aggressive as fuck all the time and not understanding at all. We had been physical too. Got to be super careful. Jack Buck you. I love that name, Jack Buck, or Jay Buck you. Yeah, dude. We've been through everything a couple can go through, I think. The only thing I hope no one has done is cheat in this marriage. I certainly have not. What is that face? Oh, because you call that cheating? Is that what we're doing? I have not physically cheated on my wife with any woman, period. But just about every other fucking thing you can imagine, some form or fashion, we've been through it. Wait, you guys sit OnlyFans? Yeah, we do have OnlyFans content, Joey Zeltzer. Trust Alone. I'm taking Trust Alone Ace. Another thank you for that, Joe DePopo last. Thanks, bro, for the info. Great looking couple. Thank you, brother. Let's see. And thank you, Matt, Simon TV. I got to get caught up here. It's so hard to stay on top of all this. You have to lead by example. Just have strict bound. So I don't care about this guy. Bro, do you smoke? And if you do you smoke before you work out? I absolutely despise marijuana in all its forms. Only because it doesn't feel good to me. I have horrible time on THC. I really am just a dopamine junkie. I have done like blow. It activates serotonin too much. MDMA activates serotonin too much. Anything that activates serotonin, I don't really like. I just like pure dopamine. And I just cannot enjoy weed at all. Like, I hate it. It makes me fucking miserable. How long does your typical workout take? Alex, I would work out for 3 hours a day if I could. I have to force myself. Right now, I'm trying to limit my workouts to an hour and a half. Because I cannot eat enough calories to work out as long as I want to. I may have to dial I was working out. When I got to 214, I was lifting 1 hour a day, 3 days a week, and I was gaining weight. I'm now lifting 4 days a week, sometimes 5, for an hour and a half, and my weight has plateaued. And so my metabolism is so high that I cannot physically I just can't eat enough calories to allow me to lift as much as I would like to lift. Might be just fucking blast. Might just fucking World Star Lift says might just fucking blast. Trust alone 700 a week. Come off trend, do trust alone test mask. Need that 600 bench. Yeah, dude, bench is like I don't know, 519, 529, some crazy shit.
You just have a little way to go.
Yeah, I'm so close. If I could just get past 305, I'd be killing it. Trend makes you a pimp. Street Maxer would be that. I'm sure he is on that OF, dude. Wow, Mike, going G4P. Never thought I'd see the day. G4P? Is that like gay for the stay? G4P?
Oh, gay for pay.
Gay for pay. Gay for pay. No, I'm not going gay for pay. You see, this is a common misconception. A person who is gay is a person who's attracted to men. I'm not attracted to men. I am an exhibitionist. So if I make content that attracts men to look at it, I'm still an exhibitionist. Okay. I'm not going to it's not going to be arousing to me in any way. Therefore, I'm not gay. So I'm not going gay for pay, but I may be decidedly making gay ass content. I mean, I don't know. What is it called? It's just exhibitionism,
I
right?
don't know, all the gay guys in porn, they're all with women anyway.
I wonder, can I talk
all
about?
those men are,
I know.
they're all gay.
All the porn stars are gay anyway. I don't know if I can say this on here.
I forget that they're fools.
Yeah, because they fucking ding me. I thought of a way. How can I say this in Dodge? If I was to shoot an act that only contained someone's backside, it could be her backside, and nobody would be able to tell who it was. So I've thought about even trying to fake G4P, I guess is the most cryptic way I can say this. What's your take on dating in this generation? Seems like it's harder to form genuine connections nowadays. Hang on, I need to get down here. Ben Bauer, my man, thank you, sir. Creamy Crypto, my man, thank you, sir. You guys are fucking awesome. I really appreciate your support as always. Let's see. So what was the question I was about to address? What's your take on dating in this generation? I feel tragically sorry for any man. Like my son, bro, I just feel for this kid. I cannot imagine being in the dating game in this generation. I think though that is me catastrophizing things, because the reality is that I do not personally believe women have really changed. And I think that this is played out in this ever increasing like fucking cuck bull thing that's going on. I remember when it's funny as shit. When Sarah and I first started doing, we obviously we didn't jump straight into fan sites. So my first foray into exhibitionism with Sarah was I talked her into doing like bikini shots and like little like lingerie shots and all this stuff. And we had created this account that used to be on. We used to have an IG that was called Moms Are Sexy Too. And the whole thing was that I was going to try to use her to try to inspire other moms. Because that's the thing, like most women, they get to their 30s or 40s, they got a couple of kids, and they wonder why their husbands don't want to sleep with them. It's because, like, dude, you let yourself go. You don't put your fucking makeup on. You don't do anything sexy. He's still a man, you know? He wants you to be sexy. And so I was trying to get my wife to like start like this revolution of like soccer moms trying to be sexy again. You know, put on the little lingerie and take care of your body. Stop being a fat fuck. And so we had this account called Moms Are Sexy Too. And I started posting all of these like little boudoir pictures, like, you know, whatever you could legally, you know, whatever you could get away with on Instagram. So I start hashtagging all of this because we're trying to grow the account. And we are not in with the life. Somebody accused us of being in the life. We are not in the life, okay?
Not be further from the life.
We are in the loser, sit at home, play video games, go to the gym, homeschool your kids' life. We are not in the exciting fet life. That is not what we are up to. So I didn't even know the terms. So I come across this term, hot wife. And I am like, oh, Well, I have a hot wife. So I start hashtagging all of these fucking pictures. Hashtag hot wife. Dude, all of a fucking sudden, so this is our first attempt at trying to shoot this content. So I'm already insecure about it to begin with. I'm already concerned. Like, I don't want to deal with a bunch of nasty dudes that'll be hitting all of my girl. I'm into going to prison. And so right out the gate, I start getting all these guys are like, I'm a bull. I want your wife. They're like saying all of this disgusting stuff. And I'm like, whoa, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, why are you coming at me like this? And finally, some guy was like, dude, you broadcasted it. Why are you getting mad at me for trying to? And I'm like, broadcasted what? So I fucking look it up and I'm like, holy fuck. I had been tagging this on our Instagram page that all of our friends and family and people at the gym who knew us were seeing me tag this shit.
But we found out a lot of people at the gym.
Yeah.
In the life.
So we start finding out who really is in the life because they think we're in the life. I was like, we took the whole shit down. I was so embarrassed and I was so fucked up by it because we got all of the wrong attention right out the gate, which is why I've said that we had a previous attempt at doing fan sites and it went terribly bad. That's why it went bad, because I didn't know what the term hot wife meant. And I labeled the pictures that and got exactly what you could expect to get in all of the DMs and shit. So be careful. Before you use a hashtag, look it up. You'd be shocked. Like, I had no idea what some of this shit meant. What's your take? So yeah, so dating, I don't know how I got onto this shit. Dating in the modern, what I was trying to say is I don't think women have really changed. So these supposedly feminist women who are dating all of these like liberal beta men, they just cheat on these guys with real men. That's the thing. Oh, every woman on earth has an alpha in her life somewhere. I don't give a shit. You could be that low life. Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, to me, is one of the most disgusting, vile people who ever walked the earth. This woman has donated more money to useless charities than I can even fucking imagine. And she runs around trying to be this philanthropist, giving all of her money away. And yet there's nothing to show for it. She gives like $1 million to some homeless shelter. Like, who gives a shit? What did that actually accomplish? If she had taken all of the money that she's donated in these little small amounts to all these bullshit charities and actually invested in something like, I don't know, fixing the climate crisis that we really do have that no one's talking about, not the fake one they're telling you about, but the one that's actually going to fuck our shit up because we're living at the end of a fucking ice age and it doesn't have anything to do with carbon emissions. This planet is going to heat up a lot in the coming years, and we're basically fucked, and there's nothing we can do about it. And it doesn't matter how many electric cars and wind turbines you build. That's not the problem. It's never been greenhouse gases. She could have spent billions of dollars into solving an actual problem, and instead she gives it to some fucking women's shelters. Like, get the fuck out of here. So I think that dating in this generation is a lost cause if you were anything other than an extreme alpha like me who is willing to put a woman in her place. Other than that, you are going to deal with a never-ending amount of bullshit, get walked on, used, and abused. And so if I was a young man in this generation, I would not even entertain a long-term relationship with anyone who does not, any woman who does not want to be a trad wife. If you do not want to be a traditional wife, you have absolutely no value in the dating game. You have made yourself a bought toy, and that's it. What's your I just went on a rant. Sorry. G4P has been a staple of bodybuilding forever, so I can't say I'm too whatever. Red blood cell, other than turning purple, what are the downsides of red blood cell? Does it harm you? Okay, Josh W. Yeah, it can harm you. I think that apparently, like Kowalser will say that the risks of like steroid-induced high red blood cell count are overblown. In theory, the thicker your blood gets, the more likely it can cause, I forget all the problems. It can cause headaches. What was the major problem? It wasn't stroke, was it? Blood clots. There are, if you look up polycythemia, That's what basically you're creating. So when you take steroids and you artificially inflate your red blood cell count, you effectively have polycythemia. So whatever the dangers of polycythemia are, those would be the dangers that you could possibly face for letting your red blood cell count get out of line. Josh, I will DM you on Discord the info on that meter. I don't know it offhand. I use Primo to control my E2 over AIs. Very rarely will I pop an Aromasin. My favorite cycle is 500 test, 400 Primo, 400 to 700 Tren E. Yeah, a lot of guys say that Primo is a powerful anti-estrogen. I have a video on my channel titled Primo is not an anti-estrogen because I ran like 400 milligrams, 600 milligrams. I don't remember. It's on my video. I ran a shit ton of Primo, almost 1-to-1 with my test. And it didn't even touch my. I was still taking the exact same amount of Arimidex with Primo in my system as I would take without it. Again, I seem to be a freak when it comes to estrogen. So Primo has never done anything to inhibit my estrogen. I honestly, with all due respect, don't think that it's stopping yours. I think that this is a total lie. I think everybody, like on my Discord, I have lost count of the number of guys who have gone and got their estrogen, who told me they didn't have any estrogen problems. They went and got the estrogen checked and they had high estrogen. So everybody who tells me, oh, Primo keeps my estrogen in check, I don't believe you until I see fucking blood work proving it. I know that I know this seems to work for some people. I think it has less to do with with Primo being an anti-estrogen and more to do with the fact that you're just not terribly sensitive to E2 to begin with. Lol, your wife smiling. Let's celebrate their third. I'm not saying. What's up, bro? Great to see you. What's up, Oatmeal at Midnight? Laughing my ass off. Just stick to G4P, Mike. Don't tag Sarah. Yeah. Yeah, fuck. To be fair, you have a hot wife. Thank you, Josh. I've been the alpha to a lot of women before I got married. Yeah, that's the thing. Alpha widow, Google that term. Alpha widow, Google that term, Mike. Sarah's going to Google it right now. Laughing. Let's see. What does the wife say on this topic? Which topic is that? John's Bizarre Opinions. What topic? I would love some questions for Sarah. She's going to fall asleep over here.
I'm okay. I'm used to listening to this all day.
Yeah.
An alpha widow is a term used to describe a woman who holds attachment and is still fixated on the man who had the most impact in her life. This is when a woman can't get over a man with a high sexual value who no longer wishes to have a relationship with her.
So every girl I've ever been with is an alpha widow.
That's what she is. That's right.
Oh my God. Dude, I will admit, I'm not bragging. Sarah can fucking vouch for this. I destroy women. Every girl that I have been in a long-term relationship with who left me, her life went into the absolute fucking shitter afterwards.
Bizarre.
I mean, take it.
One of the reasons we stayed together.
Yeah, she's scared to death to leave my ass. She's like, every girl who's left him, there's something about my personality. I'm too fucking lit and honest and bizarre and strange and high. I know what the fuck I'm doing in bed. Like I've got a skill set that apparently is very hard to find. And I think it's like one of those things like once you've stood next to the fire for too long or some shit, you know, like most dudes just pale in comparison. And I'm not trying to brag like I'm some great fucking, it's just like I just have a unique personality apparently that when women leave, and a lot of times they leave because it's like too much. Like I'm a lot to deal with. She'll tell you, like I'm a whole lot to deal with. But it's almost like they get, it's almost like meth, how it burns out you get so used to this extra level of dopamine that when you start getting the normal level of dopamine, it doesn't really work. I think women get so used to my energy that in the absence of it, everything else seems boring or something. I don't know what it is.
I think you break our fight or flight function.
Just burn out the fight or flight?
Totally. We live in a constant state of adrenaline.
My wives are like fucking antelope in the fucking savannah. They're just like constantly on edge, waiting for the fucking lion to attack them. And then after they leave the relationship, they don't know what to fucking do anymore. It's like being in a constant state of fight or flight when there's no actual threats. It's got to.
Maybe that's why the prey animals never leave the area of the predators. They never go like find a new place.
Yeah, they don't fuck off.
If they go too far, they're like, oh, nobody's chasing us anymore.
That's the thing. I mean, that's the point, right? Like the prey animals need the predators, and this was proven in Yellowstone when all of these leftist fucktards couldn't cope with the fact that the wolves were eating the elk, and so, or whatever they were eating, and so they took all the wolves out of Yellowstone. And then it fucked everything up. All of a sudden, the deer start massively overpopulating. They're all inbred. They're all fucking diseased. Predators they perform a valuable function in keeping prey herds healthy. Something has to cull the herd, and so and that's what's happening to the human animal. The human animal has no predators. We are the alpha predator, and we're not culling our own herd. We keep promoting every weirdo fucking loser thing like this all these crazy movements that should not exist. We keep lifting up minority groups instead of crushing them. And when you do that, you just continuously tank the gene pool until everybody's all fucked up. If we had a system called eugenics, then we could cleanse our own gene pool, but no one's ever going to fucking get on board with that. And so we're fucking doomed. What do we got here? I can't remember how I stumbled upon you, Mike, a few weeks ago, but I am damn glad I did. Love the content, bro. Thanks, Billy Boy. Just injected and chilling with Trenemy. Life can be good. Why would you be lying about it? There's nothing to gain. I don't know what this dude's talking about. Aromasin keeps my estrogen check. You ever tried melanotan? I have not tried melanotan. I've thought about it. We've talked about it. I haven't pulled the trigger on melanotan. Why are you smiling about that?
Because we have talked about it.
Yeah.
It's one of the few things that you haven't tried.
Yeah. I don't know why I haven't tried it. MT2, I think.
Every time somebody says, have you tried or are you going to try? I'm always like a little bit like,
she's nervous.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
because I know
fuck.
the answer is going to be yes.
Somebody's going to tell him about something there's like some minuscule chance he doesn't know about, and he's going to be off the fucking ordering shit right now.
The number of times you were like, I'm not messing with men. I'm just not doing that.
So Red Pill Alpha, I'm going to actually address this. This guy says this guy is a massive narcissist with an overinflated ego. See, this is where you're wrong, dude. If I had a massive narcissist with an overinflated ego is somebody like the troll who keeps talking about my wife, who I won't name here. He's sitting at home alone on his stream, begging both of us to come pay him attention. I don't have an overinflated ego because I have everything in life that I could possibly want. And I basically succeed at everything that I attempt, except recently in getting a fucking job. So that's not an overinflated ego. There's a different. My dad used to say there's a difference between being bragging and being good. I'm not bragging. I'm just good. It's just. I mean, no, that's not what he said.
No, he used to say it's not bragging if you're right. Right?
No. I don't remember. Something to that effect. You know,
it's not bragging if it's true. Is what he always
says.
It's
not bragging if it's true. That is bragging. You can be good at something and be bragging about it. And it's like, yeah, you're bragging. But anyway, this is what I get for even acknowledging this guy's fucking. Here's a better question. Red Pill Alpha, why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you so fucking obsessed with me? You hate on all my content, but you watch every single thing I post. You're going to write the most comments of anybody in this entire thread. You're clearly desperate. Do you need like a pat on the head? Good boy. You're a good boy. Hey, you're important too, okay? I understand that daddy didn't love you, and that's okay because you can be a big boy all by yourself. I don't understand what you're like. What are you trying to accomplish? Like, let's get into this. Like, you don't have a father figure, right? Did your dad die when you were like 8 years old or something? Let's get this out so we can just be done with it.
Is this at the bottom?
Yeah, it's at the bottom. Tiger, yeah. Oh, okay. Tigers hunt humans. Not in America, they don't. I may have hit a fucking nerve. He's being kind of quiet. Oh,
might be a long message.
Do you have daddy issues? It's okay. I have daddy issues. My daddy didn't love me the way I wanted him to love me. You know, he was really into sports and I wasn't a very good athlete. I wasn't a good enough athlete for him. He never really cared about the things that I cared about. And one day, maybe this can help you. One day I realized that I don't need my dad's love, affection, and approval to be okay with who the fuck I am. I don't live my life to make my father happy. I live my life to make me happy. And so I don't really give a shit if my dad likes me for who I am or not. That's his fucking problem. It's not mine. If he wants to alienate himself from his son, that's his shit. That didn't have anything to do with me. Yeah, that's really unfortunate for you. Probably why you turned. Okay, I'm done with this fucking guy. What else do we have going on that's actually of value? Hey, Mike, hilarious, informative content. Thank you, sir. I started my first trend cycle before my grandma's funeral. Any thoughts? Stuck in your coal. Yeah, I do have thoughts. See, I can't fuck with that. So Red Pill's gonna totally dodge me trying to put the focus on him and then bring it back to me.
Just appreciate the view and then the comments for the algorithm.
The problem is that I don't appreciate his view. And so what I'm about to do is fucking mute him. Because you're going to play the game the way I want you to play it, or I will fucking remove you from my presence. You don't understand. You don't have a choice. I control this shit. So you can either answer my fucking questions or get muted permanently. So what is it, Red Pill bitch? What's your fucking problem? Why don't you come out and be who? Why don't you put your fucking balls on the line for once? Okay? He decided to fucking test me. He didn't fucking believe me. Bing. And just like that, you're fucking gone. See, I am in fucking control here. He came after hearing you address him. Yeah. So wait a minute, let's catch up here. Hang on. Woosa. I gotta go see the new Bad Boys movie. I hear it's fucking lit. Woosa. Y'all think I don't really do this shit. I gotta fucking, the trend is fucking, he got me lit for a fucking second.
You were talking about the trend before the grandmother's, which you have experience with.
I do. So, trend before your grandmother's funeral. My grandmother, who, if you watch my most recent video, you saw me get choked up for a second. My grandmother was one of like the most valuable people in my life. I fucking respected this woman more than probably any other human being who ever lived. She lived to be 95 years old. And she called me. My dad told me my dad called me one day and said, "You need to call and talk to your grandmother." And I was in the middle of a fucking trend blast. I think I was on 500 milligrams at that time. And so I was like dead to the fucking world emotionally. And my grandmother, who again was the most dear person to me in the entire world, told me that she was tired of living and that she wanted to die. And that she was no longer going to eat. And I mean, what the fuck do you say to that? I was angry at her, honestly, because I didn't want her to, on the one hand, selfishly, I didn't want her to quit on life. It's like, you're 95. What I wanted her to do was to say, bring me a bag of shards or a pile of blow, and I'm going to go out doing something fun. Like, what do you mean? Like, you're going to stop eating? But nevertheless, I don't want to browbeat this point. That's what she did. My grandmother was a fucking stone cold savage woman. She got 95 years on this planet. She lived her life exactly how the fuck she wanted to live it. She told anybody she came into contact with exactly how the fuck she felt about them. And she was like me. She didn't give a fuck. You don't have to like my opinion. You're going to fucking get it. She gave Sarah some opinions. She was just, that's who she was. Just
best.
Straight up. And when she was done, she tapped out. She went out on her own fucking terms and got to respect it. But the problem is that I didn't feel shit. You know, like I can still feel something, but I was decidedly emotionally divorced from it. And this is my dad's mom. And so my dad is obviously very affected by it. And I had to have a sobering phone call with him where I said, look, Dad, I just want you to be aware, like, I'm not intentionally trying to be cold. I can't feel anything right now. And so I know this is a really sad time and I'm really sorry for you, but I can't feel shit. And so if I seem emotionally disconnected, that's why. I don't want you to feel like I'm being disrespectful of you or anybody else's feelings. I just literally can't empathize with anyone right now. So honestly, if I ever had to go through some shit like emotionally charged that I thought like I couldn't handle, I would probably bang a fucking giant amount of trend first. Has Sarah tried any SARMs or hang on. Has Sarah tried any? Ben, my man, thank you, brother. I love you, dude. Thank you. Has Sarah tried any SARMs or have you looked into that stuff? Also, Mike, somebody was gonna fucking say it eventually. The fucking elephant in the room. I don't know if you know this. Currently, I'm taking 3 19-nor drugs.
So I heard.
There's kind of a fourth.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What's that?
YK11. Cavalser says, I think that YK11 is a 19-nor drug.
And you're using it?
No, I'm not using it, but I have it to be used.
Oh.
So, yes. No, Sarah has not used any SARMs. She is probably not going to use any SARMs. I don't like SARMs. I'm not about SARMs. Like, I use MK, which is really pushing it as it is, which is not a SARM. I'm not really about any of the SARMs. I like roids. I like the tried and trusted Trestolone, the tried and tested things. Trestolone is really me pushing the envelope about as far as I'm willing to push it. And I honestly don't know what's going to happen. I was talking to Sarah last night. Like, on the one hand, I want to say, hey, how bad could it be? It's 19 nor testosterone, with the 7 alpha methylation on it. No big deal. Well, that's how they thought about fucking D-ball. It's like, how bad could it be? It's just test with the 17 alpha alkylated group on it. And then it killed the guy who invented it. The guy who invented D-ball for SIBA Pharmaceuticals died of fucking heart disease that they connected to his fucking massive D-ball use. Now, it's interesting he didn't die of like liver failure, but D-ball was not, if you look at the history of D-ball, it fucked a lot of guys up.
So he died at age 52.
52.
So how long had he been using it?
I don't know I don't remember when, I don't know how old he was when he invented it, or when he synthesized it or whatever, but yeah, so I think the mint is safe, but fuck, what do I know? I guess I'm gonna find out. Wait, so are you guys monogamous? Amy Miranda, sorry this is taking so long. Yes, we are 100% monogamous. The one thing Sarah could fucking do that would be an instantaneous deal breaker and would probably get her unalived is cheating. Like, I'm telling you, like, if all of a sudden my channel disappears and I fall off the face of the earth, that might be why. So
that will not be why.
And I will never cheat on my wife. Like, if I got to the point where I knew that I was going to sleep with another woman, I would literally call her in the marriage before and say, you need to leave because I'm either about to do something or I'm going to do something, or even if I was just thinking about it to the point that I really wanted to, I would tell her the truth. I keep no secrets from my wife. And so if it ever came to that, the only way that we could possibly be in what's considered a non-monogamous relationship is if Sarah decided she would like to try ladies. I would be down for that. But other than that, yes, we are 100 million% monogamous. Y'all should fight so he can complete his outfit. Laughing my ass off. I'm joking. I'm done with that dude. He got muted. He came after. I love your channel. Oh, I love your channel, Mike. You really made such an impact on how I go about PDs. Thank you, Shay Ferry. He wants to talk about, let's see. Hell yeah. Male. Okay, they're still on, dude. Mike, #1 stud. I think we found this.
The thing is that
I think we found this. Who's the Sunbelt spy? Jen, who's the Sunbelt spy? Oh my God, I would love nothing more in the world if there was a fucking Sunbelt member in here.
Red alpha.
That would be, you know what? I don't think anybody at Sunbelt is a big enough fucking loser to be Red Alpha Pill. Or whatever his fucking name was. What's next? Bro, I'm going through the same thing with my grandma. I think dude, that would be a hell of a way to go. Yeah, man. Yeah, dude, like it sucked. It took like a couple of weeks, I think, a week or two for her to die. She quit eating and she got like emaciated to the point where I think they started using opiates to kind of keep her like fucking under, and then she slipped away. Man, when I get old, I'm gonna choose the bag of shards. I mean, I'm telling you, Sarah and I like when when I was in the hospital. This is a crazy fucking story I haven't mentioned yet. When I was in the hospital recently, going through that whole thing, one of the nurses in the hospital told me the best way to unalive yourself. She was in the hospital. We were talking about opiates or something, and she was like, "Oh, I wouldn't use opiates." She was like, "If I was gonna do it, I would fucking OD on insulin." That's what she said. She said the nurse said the best way to go out is just like bang a bottle of insulin, fall asleep, fucking go out. I don't know if that.
She say like how many bottles or how?
She
like,
tried to make it sound like it was like a bunch of bottles.
Like,
meanwhile, I almost died on 10 units. Can you imagine how much insulin it would take to kill me? You could accidentally kill me with insulin.
You could accidentally do it.
Dude, I'm telling y'all, if I ever fall off the face of the earth, Ben Bauer, somebody, Ben, get an autopsy, bro. Don't let her take me out.
If anything ever happens to you, like if you have an accident, I'm gonna have to order the autopsy for sure. Like I didn't do it.
Dude, I'm telling you, I will absolutely not do insulin without telling this community. I swear to God, I am terrified of insulin. If I fall out and there is insulin in my, I don't know if they can detect. That's the problem. I don't know if they can detect that.
I don't know the answer to that either.
You're a liar. You've got like a 400-page PDF on how to whack somebody with insulin, don't you?
That dumb to put that
Tell the
computer.
truth. I'm on to you. Let's see. If they can find insulin, bro, I didn't take it. That was her 100%. Let's see. Trying to get her on DECA for osteoporosis. Man, yeah. Man, I'd love to set Mike up in the business I've been in for 30 years. Would just need to hire someone to deal with the asshole clients. Lol. What business is that? Oatmeal at midnight. I'm open to anything right now, brother. I'm getting hated left and right, just hated. SARMs are garbage. Yeah. Are you a pro? Do you compete? Just curious. I am absolutely not a pro. I do not compete. I will probably almost certainly never compete. I'm not big enough. I actually found out that I'm getting pretty big. I always feel like I'm just still like a little guy. And then I was actually looking at the weight limits for the various different classes and found out that I could.
A monster?
Yeah, I found out I'm pretty big actually. As it turns out, I'm not so small after all. At my height, I couldn't be bigger than 212. I think it was to compete in physique, and 220 something to be in classic physique. So like if I got up to 230, 240, I would probably cut down to stage weight. But I'm not there yet. Plus I'd probably like masters. I don't want to fucking compete in masters. Are you guys or no? YK11 is the only one that interests me personally. Roids are for real, man. I'm probably going to pull the trigger on the YK11 eventually, dude. Brian Roos, thank you, my man. Appreciate it. Mike, can you share a little bit about your first Tren Ace use as far as it felt and kick in right away and the MG amount you started with? Thanks, bro. I got the same Arnold poster, by the way. Brian, I have never used Tren Ace. Mint Ace is the first short ester I have ever used in my life. I have intentionally sworn them off because I have a very addictive personality, and anything that rises fast in my system tends to cause drug-seeking behavior. And so I have always stayed away from the Tren Ace because I'm also terrified of the Tren cough. I get really sloppy sometimes with my injections and nick a vein. And but now that I've tried Mint Ace, Oh, I'll be shocked if I'm not into the Trent Ace soon. I've been waffling back and forth. So all I can tell you, unfortunately, is that I've used Trent E. As far as Ace esters go, what I can tell you is the first time I pinned Mint Ace, I felt the come up within 1 hour. Honestly, I felt it faster than that. The second day that I took it, I was so shocked with how rapidly I was feeling the come up that I wanted my wife to witness it. So I asked her to come. I was like, I'm going to pin my shot. I want you to stay in the bedroom and we're just going to, I want you to monitor my attitude because it was acute. The come up on Mint was acute. I went and pinned my shot. I had to go sit in the bathroom. I was in there for 10, 15 minutes maybe. By the time I got out of the bathroom, I was already coming up. It was already too late for her to even be able to notice the difference. So I feel ACE esters very rapidly. I feel ACE esters basically the same way I feel orals. If I take an Anadrol or an Anavar or even Proviron, I feel that acutely within 45 minutes. If I was to go take Anavar, in fact, it's almost time for my Proviron. Not yet. If I was to take like 15 milligrams, 10 milligrams of Anavar right now, I would be rip roaring inside of 30, 45 minutes. You're looking massive, dude. Thank you. When it's time to go, I'm taking Coke until my heart explodes. Not a bad way to go. I definitely think you have some serious potential. Thank you, Benny Parcher. Well, you were good in sales and you could build quite large and extremely profitable commercial janitorial business. It's not glamorous, but it's very profitable and can be put on an autopilot. Again, Oatmeal, I'm open to almost anything. I could sell ice to an Eskimo. This is the thing that is so annoying to me. Like I was in outside sales for 20 years. I was making YouTube videos for the last several years. I've been a lunatic my entire life. My customers didn't give a shit. I was in a straight commission only position and I was making anywhere between 100 and 150K a year. I never had these people who won't hire me because they find my OF or my fucking this channel. Customers are not looking this up. I'm about to buy a fucking $60,000 BMW in the next couple of weeks. It's on a boat right now to be here. I'm not going to go look. I know the guy's name that I'm buying this car from. I'm not gonna bother looking this guy up on YouTube. I mean, like on social media. I don't give two fucks who he is. Maybe he's in the hot wifing community. I don't give a shit. Like as long as he sells me a car for the price that I want, doesn't dick me around, that's all that matters.
But if you did, maybe you would have known that he was on vacation this week because you would have seen his vacation pictures. You wouldn't have been so frustrated he wasn't getting back to you.
See, if I'd only looked him up, then I wouldn't have a meltdown yesterday when I couldn't get him to answer my text message. Yeah, like, I just don't understand why businesses give a fuck what I do in the privacy of my own home. Maybe it's possibly that, they find my channel and they see me having a complete psychotic meltdown on somebody and they're like, ugh, this could be one of us one day, which is,
one of our
it's technically true. I did get disciplined more than once at my last job for having a meltdown. Let's see. Are you in recovery? I've got 4 years. I would say that I am recovered, Benny Parcher. The reason that I say recovered is because I have had access to amphetamines on more than one occasion, and I just don't have any desire to do them anymore. So I'm recovered from speed. I am not a recovered addict. So basically what had happened was you knew that shit was coming. Basically what happened is that speed used to be my drug of choice and now it's Trent. Now it's roids. And so I just traded one addiction for another. So technically right now, if I was being totally honest, I'm in the throes of a drug addiction. It's just, I just happen to have found an addiction that you can be very functional on. I also own a carpet and floor care business. Again, not, dude, Oatmeal at midnight. I appreciate anything you can fucking throw my way. I was selling forklifts before, man. There's nothing glorious about forklifts, and I was making 100 to 150K doing it. So I don't give a shit what it is. As long as I can feed my family, and it's outside. I'm not sitting at a desk every day. Business to business sales, outside sales, remote. I don't give a shit what it is. If it affords me the ability to continue making this content, continue bodybuilding, be around my wife and kids, that's all I care about. Primo versus Mast, your opinion. World Star Lift. My opinion is Masteron. The reason that I choose Masteron over Primo is because Masteron, it acts like an antidepressant in me. Primo does feel good psychologically. Masteron to me just feels better, and it seems to make my D game like way better. I did not have, yeah, see, confirmed. I did not get that effect from Primo, and so so I basically use Masteron. I don't use Masteron for bodybuilding content, bodybuilding context. So a lot of guys are like, why are you running this fucking weirdo cycle? I'm basically treating all of my psychological issues with steroids. That's why I'm saying like I'm a steroid drug addict. So I'm running Deca and Tren and Mint and Test. And the only reason the Mast is really even in the cycle is because it doesn't aromatize. So I can get 400 milligrams of anabolism out of a compound. It seems to improve my D game, and it makes me happy. It seems to offset a lot of the Tren misery. Tren can cause me to go into dark places, and the Masteron makes me feel better. And so that's why I prefer it over Primo. But that's the only reason. I can't say for one way or the other which one is better at like for bodybuilding purposes. I'd buy ice from Mike.
Are you an Eskimo?
70K a month, probably cash flow too. Yeah. Oatmeal at Midnight, are you in my Discord, dude? If you're not in my Discord, send me some info. Trenemy1@gmail.com. Dr. Manuel.
That's realist.
Antonio Talveras is hi, mom and dad. Yikes.
Hi.
It's great to hear, bro. Same here. I can't do speed anymore. The steroids are much better. Yeah, Benny Parcher. I am forever. I'm forever a roid guy now. How much Caber would you use on 50 milligrams of Tren with no other 19 Nors? Creamy Crypto. I was using half of a milligram of Caber per week at 50 milligrams of Tren, I believe. I know. I think I got away with I when I was on 100 milligrams of Tren, I was getting away with 50. I bumped it up to 75. I was kind of my dose really kind of needed to be in between 50 and 75. 0.5. Sorry, half a milligram and 3/4 of a milligram. So on 50 milligrams of Tren, I would probably use half of a milligram of cabergoline. I think that's what I was taking. If I bump it up to 100. It's kind of in between a half a milligram and 3/4 of a milligram. Hell yes, you feel the injectable test first day. I do. How much are you trying to make? I need to make 6 figures, Josh. Be your own boss, Mike. I'm sure Sarah would be a great business partner. Yeah, we should talk. I'd be happy to give you info and tricks I've learned. I'm not a consultant, so I never look for monetization for helping others. If you try it and works, that's good for me. Yeah, I'm in your Discord. I'm shot color. Okay, cool, man. Thank you. I'll hit you up about that. I can do Tren. Ben Bauer, my man, is on fire with the super tips tonight, bro. I cannot thank you enough. I'm gonna get to yours in 1 second. I got 2 above. I can do Tren, no problem. Once I add in Nandrolone, I lose all my sex drive, and it sucks because MPP makes me bigger than everything I've taken. World Star Lift. That's why I swore off Nandrolone completely, is because it would crash my libido. I had massive fucking erection problems on it. Caber massively helps. What I have found, and this was tested again last night, because I had a little off period, Proviron seems to be what I have got to use if I'm going to use Deca or MPP. I think the reason this is bro science. This is speculation. I do not know. So I'm not pretending like I've read a study. My experimentation seems to be that Nandrolone 5-alpha reduces into dihydronandrolone. And I don't know if dihydronandrolone outcompetes DHT for the receptor or what. But it seems in my body that the only way I can maintain sexual functionality if I'm taking Nandrolone is to put some DHT back in the system. So when I take Proviron, it seems to knock out the Nandrolone libido problems. I was actually on fire last night. After see, I'm not bullshitting. You look at that grin. Look at that grin. I'm not making this shit up, dude. When I tell you, I don't come on here to brag for no reason. The Proviron really seems to help. You might give it a try. You guys should do the nomad thing again. I need to get some solar on my van. And then once I get my fridge running again, I'm going back on cycle. Uh-oh. Could be a sign. We may end up nomad, man. We really may. I told Sarah last night, like, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm of the opinion that there is no free will in life, that our lives are basically scripted, and what's going to happen is going to happen. And so some door is going to open for me, or I'm going to wake up one day and I'm going to know the right thing to do. And so I'm not fucking worrying about it. I'm just doing me. If we end up nomad, man, we had a lot of fun doing it. So that may be in the future. We'll see. Ben Bauer, thank you again, my man. I appreciate you, bro. I'm starting PCT 247 Pharma Sus 250 and their Pharma Deca 400. That's going to hurt probably, but no pain, no gain on Saturday. Indian Pharma. Yes, sir. PCT 247. If you are not familiar with them, check them out. They are a phenomenal business. They're a phenomenal business to do business with. Thoughts? Here we go. It's always somebody. Thoughts? Yeah, that Deca 400, man. That might sting a bit. I don't know. Billy Boy, thoughts on P5P instead of Caber for low dose? Dude, I know that this is a lot. I tried P5P, P5P. It did absolutely nothing for me. I don't remember how much of that shit I ate. It was not fixing the problem. Maybe I didn't take enough. Maybe I didn't take it long enough. But the thing is that PCT 247 has cabergoline for great prices. It causes me zero side effects. It is very fast acting. It is very easy to dose. I am just, cabergoline is my drug. P5P did not do dick for me. Oatmeal at Midnight, it was great to hang with y'all for a while. Gonna go eat. Talk to you later. Thank you, my man. Hit me up on Discord. I appreciate you. Trin and MPP, best combo I've ever ran for size and strength, but I've become so depressed on it. World Star Lift, brother, jack up your Caber dose and try Proviron. The way I know that I've gone too far on the Caber, the way you can tell if you can still take more Caber, is when you go too far on your Caber and you knock your prolactin into the toilet, you will get to the point where you have basically zero refractory period. So you will have sex, you will finish, and you will not really feel satisfied. Like, you will want to go immediately again, and your orgasm quality will suffer majorly. So it's like you can go over and over and over again, but you never get satisfied. That's how you know you went too far on your cabergoline dose. So keep going. Just keep adding a little Caber, and it should remove that depression and the libido problems. You may just not have it dosed high enough. And then obviously Proviron in the mix definitely helps me in a major way. But you're right. Tren and Nandrolone together are, my physique looks so much better, so much fuller. My joints feel fucking amazing. Like, I never want to take the Nandrolone, whether it's Deca or MPP, out of the equation ever again. But I don't want it fucking up my D game. And so I have been doing everything I can to offset it. And I think that if you control E2, prolactin, and put in some, I've never got that from Caber, and done some 0.5. Okay. To give you an idea, right now I'm taking, what's a quarter times 7? So I'm about 1 3/4 milligram of cabergoline right now. And at that dose, I'm still not even close to being too low on prolactin. So the dose is not so important, because the thing is, like I've crashed my prolactin on 3/4 of a milligram because I was only on 100 milligrams of Tren. So if you're only on 100 milligrams of tren, that's all of the 19 nors in your system. Then you could crash your prolactin with 3/4 of a milligram. When I'm on mint and deca and fucking tren, then I'm taking 1.35 milligrams of Caber a week, and I'm not crashing my prolactin. In fact, I think I'm taking more than that now. So again, just keep going up. Like, to me, there's no downside to increasing it. Or like I said, try the provider and see if that doesn't help. I get anhedonia. Yeah, the anhedonia is brutal, brother. The reason that I think it's a Caber problem is because I got anhedonia massively. I made a bunch of videos about it on my channel. I forget what they're called. Like I was ready to like in a major way. Like I had picked the location, I had picked the methodology. I was basically, to some degree, I was like telling my wife goodbye. I was that far gone. And I was only on tren. I was on test, tren, mast. I think that was it at the time. There was no nandrolone in the system, and the anhedonia was so bad that I was ready to end it. And Caber, managing my Caber and my E2 fixed it. Also, don't underestimate your E2. If your E2 is fucked in the presence of high prolactin, that will wreck your mood too. Hey, bro, would you recommend mega dosing or the opposite? I'm 3 years in and I just want to look like a freak. I do not recommend mega dosing. The reason that I don't recommend mega dosing is because I think that muscle building is time gated. Like you can only build so much muscle in so much time. So if you're going to build, say, 10 pounds of muscle in 16 weeks on 250 milligrams of test, in my experience, going to 500 milligrams of test is not going to make you build 20 pounds of muscle in the same period of time. It doesn't seem to work that way. It seems that what happens is that muscle building is time gated. There is a finite amount of muscle that you can build in any given period of time, and just blasting away with compounds does not seem to improve this. Maybe that's only because I've never been able to eat a sufficient calorie surplus to make use of the excessive amounts of androgens. I'm already struggling today. I'm doing this. I'm not eating. I'm getting hungry. I don't recommend mega blasting. I don't think it helps. I think it overly taxes your system for little to no gains. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. Why would someone like Win over Tren? Winstraw over Tren. Hang on, I think I missed one. Masteron took my NPP depression away. Yeah, again, Masteron, DHT derivatives. Like I run Mast and Proviron both when I'm running Tren and Nandrolone. And I don't think I could do without either one. Unfortunately, that's the problem with 19 Nors. And I think that's why they get such a bad name in the community, in the bodybuilding world, is because it's like I said in one of my videos, it's like the fucking Spider-Man thing. With great power comes great responsibility. Like 19 Nors will pack fucking muscle on your body. That will give you crazy fucking strength, great joint support. Everything is so fucking badass on 19 Nor compounds, but they come with a mountain of fucking side effects that you have to offset, and it seems to take a lot of shit. Like again, I'm taking 50 milligrams of Proviron a day and 400 milligrams of Mast per week, and I'm feeling really great right now. I'm having nothing even close to anhedonia. If anything, I'm manic and upbeat and pumped and fucking feeling life more than ever. Why would somebody like Win over Tren? Those are two. If you're talking about Winstraw versus Tren, those are two totally different compounds. Like I've never taken Winstraw. It's great for like making you look freakishly dry and peeled, stage ready. If I was going to compete, maybe I would take it. But my understanding is that it's pretty liver toxic and it's really harsh on your joints. And I already have massive joint problems as it is. And I'm so scared of tearing something off of a fucking bone that I have just never used Winstraw. I don't think there's any value to it at all outside of like a competition prep situation, but maybe somebody wants to argue that point. I don't know. I'm not speaking intelligently about it because I've never used it. I've never got that from I was talking to a guy last night and he's on Tren now, but started talking about Win and seemed way more excited about it. Just want to understand because I never hear about it anymore. I'm guessing this guy is trying to cut and he feels like he's getting a much better aesthetic from the Winstraw than the Tren, which is very possibly true. I think that you could make the argument that Winstraw is one of the probably best aesthetic drugs you could take as far as just getting completely shrink wrapped and freakish looking. I'm guessing that's what he's talking about. What else? Just came across your videos a couple weeks ago and have been binge watching them since trying to catch. Thanks, Lance Collins. I appreciate you. So did you get the nipple leaking before you took the caber? Because even on 0.5, oh my God, World Star Lift. World Star Lift says, so did you get the nipple leaking before you took caber? Because even on 0.5 every day, nipples can still lactate. Barely anything comes out. Dude, I don't know if you're fucking with me or not. If you're being serious, your prolactin is massively elevated, bro. I have never had anything even remotely close to lactating nipples. If that is the case, you like, I don't know what kind of doses you're on that's causing this, but your prolactin is fucking meteoric if you're lactating. So I would highly recommend. I'm not a doctor. I wish Kavalsa was still here. But you might look into making sure you don't have a prolactinoma or something. I had a client who actually had a prolactinoma. And so for you to be lactating, unless you're doing fucking hundreds of milligrams of Tren and hundreds of milligrams of Deca together, which case, if you are and you're as sensitive as me, then you're probably gonna have to take a giant fuck amount of caber to offset it. I can't even imagine how much caber I would need if I was if I was to say like run, like God forbid I would be running like 500 Tren, 600 Deca, or 600. Oh my God. I mean, dude, I would probably need a caber fucking IV to manage that. Is caber from 247 Meds good to go? 100% of every single thing that I have gotten from PCT 247 is absolutely good to go. And I have probably tried 50 items. They're 100% good to go across the board. Yes, straw. I'm not going to attempt to spell it. I don't know what that was. Hey, I got where I can't. Benny Parcher says, I got where I can't get off, and I'm having a hard time figuring out the cause. Is it likely the 19 Nors cause? I have had this experience where it can be very difficult. Generally, when I got to the point where it was very difficult to finish, I believe, if I remember correctly, I had low E2 and I was on a bunch of Tren. I think that was the case. Do you remember? Do you have any idea what I've had struggles finishing? What we determined was going on with my hormones? So many fucking variables.
Yeah, I feel like there was there's definitely on low E when your
Was
E2
low
is
E2.
crashed. When your E2 is crashed 100% of the time.
Yeah.
But I think we have had that. Have we had that before with the prolactin? When you took more caber, I feel like that was not
when I overdosed the caber, maybe.
I can't remember what you did. I can't remember. I feel like we adjusted your caber a while ago because of that, but I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, I have run into that challenge. I think I want to say, dude, that I had low E2 and I was on a bunch of Tren, and that was the cause. I honestly, that's rare. I'm pretty sure that was it. Low E2 and on 19 Nors, I think, was causing delayed O's. I didn't know anhedonia is a thing outside of anger. I've only ever felt neutral lately. Oh, dude, I go into the absolute shitter, Josh. It's like horrific. Y'all would have been proud. I blew some minds last night with my knowledge of gear. Way to go, Jen. See, that's, dude, like, girls, it's more important for girls to learn about this shit than guys. And that's the thing. Like, I used to get so frustrated with Sarah because she wouldn't pay attention when I was talking about 17 alpha alkylation and all these various different things going on with different hormones. And, because like I was worried about her. Like, what if I fucking dropped out or, whatever, she, like, I don't want to see her fuck herself up because, she might try to continue doing this after we're not together, which of course, if we weren't together, I'd stop caring. But but now I care. And it's really important for girls to know, because dudes will lie to you and fuck your shit up so fast. We heard crazy stuff like, we even had a girl tell us there was no reason for her to even bother running primo at less than 200 milligrams a week. What the fuck? Do you imagine?
No, I cannot.
Holy fuck. I can't even imagine what
20 a week. And
20 milligrams a week of primo. She like lost her shit on me. She got covered in acne. She put 50 pounds on her fucking lifts. It's like, I can't even imagine if we listened to that girl giving her 200 milligrams of fucking primo. It's insane. How much caber you think I should do? I'm getting bloods this Friday. I would just say, if you're getting blood done this Friday, World Star, I would stay at whatever caber you're currently at, so you'll have a baseline. Just keep running the same amount and see where it's at, and then adjust accordingly. I run Tren yearly 300 to 700 milligrams a week. Oh. Can you imagine? See, he runs it yearly, 300 to 700. I should be able to get away with 300 milligrams a week minimum yearly, right?
Get away.
I don't know how the fuck you do it, bro. That's crazy.
I don't know how your partner does it.
300 milligrams a week after 10 plus weeks, man. It's hard. That's a heavy weight to fucking live under for such a long period of time. It's no wonder you have anhedonia, dude. I now 300 to 700 milligrams a week. I don't know that you can offset it, bro. I really don't. Like, I don't know that there's enough fucking shit that you could take where you can stay on that level of trend for that length of time and not have anhedonia. I think what's actually happening is that the trenbolone is so dopaminergic that you're frying out your dopamine receptors. It's kind of like just being on a massive speed bender to the point where you're not even getting high anymore. You're just staying awake. Tren is very dopaminergic. And if you're taking that high of doses for that length of time, it's possible, dude, that you're just not going to be able to. You're going to have to fucking drop the dose or cope with living in the fucking abyss, because that's what it feels like to me. It feels like I am absolutely living in the abyss, and not in the way that I was talking about on IG the other day. Like, it is like being sucked into a fucking black hole from which you cannot escape. You really probably need to give yourself a fucking break, dude. Your wife wears rider wear. She's legit. I'll be honest, dude. We would probably not buy rider wear again. Didn't you end up liking the Gymshark better? Or no, you like the Alphalete.
Alphalete is definitely my favorite. It fits me better. It all fits better, and the bands are much more comfortable. I feel like it's more flattering. But I thought these were really cute. So
yeah, we bought a whole.
These are not as comfortable by any means. Although I was smaller when we bought them, and so I'm shoving my body
you're crammed into that shit.
So,
but the thing is, though,
but I bought the Alphalete. I bought the Alphalete at the same time, and they feel super comfy.
We bought a whole bunch of rider wear gear because we were trying to support an athlete by the name of Valerie Rattel. She was an amateur figure competitor at the time. She's like she seemed like the coolest fucking person. We both followed her on social media, and she was just a sweetheart. We used her fucking code once, and she was like immediately thanked us, and she was so gracious. And we had used a different girl's code. We tried to support this different girl named Caroline O'Mahony, and we plugged her on Instagram and said, "Hey, we used your code," and she fucking ghosted us. And it was the cuntiest fucking thing. And like, I stopped following her, quit giving a shit about her fucking entire career. Valerie has just been an absolute fucking sweetheart of a human being.
I think she just must be a truly kind and gentle soul.
Yeah.
Like,
if y'all don't know who
she's adorable.
If you don't know who Valerie Rattel is, look up Valerie Rattel. I think it's Ratelle maybe on Instagram. She has a fucking phenomenal physique when she's on prep. Her back is outrageous.
When Mike was trying to get me into this,
yeah.
She was a lot smaller then, but when Mike was trying to get me into this, he's like, he's showing me pictures of all of these girls, these bodybuilders. And I was like, I want to look like her on stage, like back then. Cause she was, I mean, there's no way I could look like her now, no matter what I did, but it's so beautiful.
She's pushing it.
Amazing.
She's pushing a little far now. She turned pro, she's starting to masculinize a little bit, but like a year or two ago, God, man, I think she had the greatest female physique maybe of all time.
I think her physique
she's got the perfect blend of amazing, hard cut, beautifully sculpted muscles, but femininity. Like she maintained her femininity. She could put on a dress. I mean, she's big as fuck in it, but and she's real sweet. And so she just seemed to have the perfect fucking package. And so we bought a bunch of rider wear using her code, just kind of support her. And she was just instantly thanking us and acknowledging us. And so that's how we got. But unfortunately, I bought a bunch of rider wear stuff. I'm in like the rider wear, like on these little drawstrings on ow, fuck.
Oh no.
God damn it. Fucking lat cramp. God fucking.
You good?
Yeah, fuck, that hurt. There was little metal things that they put over the little plastic wrap at on the tips of the drawstrings. They were falling off in the wash and rattling around. The Riderwear gear really didn't hold up. The shoes that we got from Riderwear, I really liked the quality of those, but some of the clothes were not up to par. Sorry, I got off a whole tangent on Riderwear, for Christ's sake. Question, is Nolvadex proper PCT? Do you take Nolvadex during cycle if you're nipple? Now, I already answered this once before. I don't know what PCT means. I think that means post-cycle therapy. That is for Neanderthals. No one PCTs anymore. Don't PCT. It's a waste of fucking time. I don't use Nolvadex, Twisted Taylor. I'm just giving you a hard time. I don't use SERMs. I don't like SERMs. I would rather treat it with a Arimidex. And I absolutely don't PCT. I think 100% of men on earth, including my 13-year-old son, should be on TRT at a minimum year-round, every single year for the rest of life. Our bodies do a terrible job of producing hormones, and we should all take it completely into our control. But rest assured, my son is not on TRT yet.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Anavar.
Yes.
The businesses that are good businesses to do business with, QSC, PCT, force.
QSC, if you need Anavar, it's QSC. QSC will sell you Anavar if it's legal in your country, of course, because QSC is a legal business operating legally out of the country of China. So if you can legally source Anavar in your country, then you can get high quality, phenomenal grade Anavar in powder form only. It's 10 grams of Anavar, is $55, I think. Or you can buy pharma grade Anavar pills from PCT 247. Again, if you're doing so legally, and I do not know the price offhand, but it is reasonable, although I don't know that it's quite that cheap. What else do we have here? Twisted Taylor, sorry. I don't PCT at all, and I use Arimidex, not Nolvadex, for controlling estrogen. Does this sound like anhedonia? You can't find comfort laying down or pleasure in anything. You dabbled with vices, and even those don't seem to give you a dopamine response. You feel zero motivation to lift. I have not gotten to the point of zero motivation to lift, although I do understand that is. I think you have overloaded your dopamine receptors, and so I think that you really fucking need a break, honestly. I very rarely recommend breaks. I think if you're not in the Discord already, World Star Lift, get in the Discord, brother. Good friend of mine, Kavalser's on there. He could probably give you much more. He could actually give you some medical advice about you know, if it's possible to saturate your dopamine receptors or anything that could be, he has lots of ways of offsetting different things and treating different things from a medical perspective. And so he could be a wealth of information for you because I think from in my very non-medical opinion, I think that you are overly taxing your dopaminergic system. And I don't think that there's going to be anything that I don't know of any way to fix that besides cycling way down or off. Man, bummer is that my libido, hang on. Any advice for the wife? She's worried about CPS and my gear use. Josh W, that's actually a good question. I can tell you from my personal experience that I was involved in a child support custody case with my ex-wife, and during the custody case, I can't remember. There was CPS was involved at some point too. I can't remember what phase of the game. They did not ask me a single fucking solitary question about my size, about anything to do with hormone use, anything at all. It was never even a topic of conversation. Unfortunately, when my oldest son and I had our falling out and he decided to go live with his mother, he was interviewed by an agent of the court of some kind, and he reported to them that I was using anabolic steroids. And when the attorney for the opposing side tried to bring it up as evidence in the courtroom, the judge just fucking, I mean, he just waved it away. In my child custody proceeding, I was actively accused of being a steroid user, and no one in the entire legal process even wanted to even asked a single question about it. So I don't know if I was lucky in that regard. That's just my personal experience. I don't know, you know, what the bounds are there, but that was my personal experience. Benny Parcher, man, bummer is that my libido is so high when I can't get out. Yeah, I can't get off that I quite literally go insane. Yeah, bro, I don't know what to tell you about that. Besides, go get your hormone levels checked and find out what's going on. Grand Theft Booty, what is going on, brother? No trend. World Star Lift, no trend doesn't give me anhedonia. Only the nandrolone. Yeah, I don't know, World Star. I don't know, man. I wish I could help you. I don't know what to tell you about that other than I don't know, man. Check your E2. I don't know. I don't know. You mean, Jen, you mean exactly why I'm here and learning from you guys. The weekend after he passed, I decided to just wing it a few weeks later, came back to you guys, lol. Yeah, hormones it's a tough fucking game for anybody. Like, my God, you know, we have gone through so much shit with her progesterone, estrogen, androgens, surplus of androgens with me, trying to be able to balance my female hormones, male hormones, come ups, come downs, dick fucking problems. Like, dude, this is no joke. This is an extreme sport in every sense of the word. How much trend should you take? It's totally up to you. I don't really go over 300 milligrams a week anymore. But I like to just run low dose trend year round. I kind of think the sweet spot for trend for me is 100 milligrams a week year round. You the best YouTuber ever. Thank you, James Brown. We should probably start cutting this short, huh? I think.
I'm not in a hurry. I don't care.
You're good. Does the Alpha Elite have men's clothes? Alpha Elite, it's Alpha Elite, one word. If you look them up, I don't know. I guess they probably have t-shirts and shit. I'm sure they do. Yeah, I'm sure they have men's clothes. Do you ever get acid reflux from Tren? Yes, I do, Superman.
I do.
And now I'm kind of in trouble because my buddy Kavalser just told me that I'm not allowed to be taking, that I shouldn't be taking Nexium every single day. I've been on Nexium, which is a proton pump inhibitor. I've been taking one Nexium a day for like the last 8 consecutive months. And he was like, dude, don't fucking do that. Ever since the release of PPIs, Esophageal cancer rates have gone up. And so I'm on day 3 of no PPI, and I've had to start taking antacids again. So I really didn't want to have to come off the Nexium because it was totally solving all of my acid reflux problems. But I also don't want esophageal cancer. So that's one of the reasons a lot of people say that Tren is not a good bulking drug. And that has been true of me, is that I have a hard time eating on Tren. Tren fucks up my appetite really, really, really pretty powerfully. And so I think the acid is a factor in it. And it sucks. I think he recommends Pepsid Complete, which I'm probably going to try. He said that's safe to use long term, and the proton pump inhibitor is not. I can feel I have it like right now. I'm on night 3, and I knew it wasn't going to happen immediately when I stopped taking the Nexium. I knew it was going to take a few days, and unfortunately, I can feel the heartburn right now. I have to cut this. Go eat. Let's see. What's good? Dollar Coast Crypto. What's up? Is Sarah ever scared of you? Robert Coben wants to know: is Sarah ever scared of you?
I think that I'm less scared of him now than I was back before you were on the steroids.
I don't think that came through.
I think I'm less scared of him now than I was back before the steroids, to be honest. But to ask if I'm scared of, no, I'm not scared of him. Do I feel like he could be dangerous if he wanted to? Yes, I do. But he hasn't been. We haven't had any problem. But I think that to say I'm scared of you, but not really. No.
Unfortunately, I hate to admit this. I'm definitely not proud of it. There has been physical violence in our marriage. I would term it as very mild physical violence. If you can rate something like that on a scale. But there has been in the very distant past in our marriage, and it was when I was not on steroids. I was substantially more violent before steroids, because my violence comes from insecurity. And I think that is probably common of a lot of men. I was controlling her in a very different way. And anytime that I get insecure, that's when she's in the most. If she was going to be in danger, it would be because of my insecurity and not because of any roid situation. Insecurity is bad. And when I got healthy and got big and got my confidence back, I do not ever have violent thoughts about her at all. And that was something that was decidedly different earlier in our marriage.
Our marriage, and I don't know what is exactly. I'm not saying that the steroids are exactly the cause of this, but our marriage is much better since you've been on steroids than it was before in every possible way. So I'm not saying that the steroids make it better. I think the steroids just give you a different, like you were saying, a level of confidence and things that might help. But I definitely think that, without question, our marriage is better than it was before. So,
yeah, trying to be a man and trying to be the leader of a household from a position of insecurity is a total non-starter. It's a total lost cause. In order for you to facilitate the role of being a male in your household, you have got to be secure in your own skin, in your own mind, in your own world. And when you're not, it's a total disaster. And so I was very, very insecure before I got my hormones dialed in, and things have been massively better. Now, I've had trend rages. I've broken some shit. I've broken a lot of shit. But like as far as being physical with her, that subsided when that went by the wayside with my insecurities. What What are your thoughts? Here we go. What are your thoughts on parents prescribing test to their trans kids? I'm totally against it. Well, it's kind of a double edged. On the one hand, I think that your kids are your kids and you can do whatever the fuck you want to with them. But I think the kids should have a say in it, obviously. And but so that's the thing. Like, if my son, for example, was trying to use testosterone at an early age to enhance the bodybuilding that he's already doing, and he's taking a hormone that is congruent, excuse me, oh my God, see, acid reflux is getting me, and burps and all kinds of shit. For my son to use testosterone to enhance his bodybuilding gains, taking the hormone that is natural for his body to have an excess of, I think is very different. And I personally would be okay with it. If my daughter comes to me at 13 and goes, "Hey, Dad, I think I'm a boy and I want you to give me testosterone," 0% chance I'm going to support that. My son taking testosterone is not going to change and irreparably fuck him up. It's just going to enhance him. Some little girl deciding to thinking that she can take. I don't know how our society decided that that you have to be 21 years old before you can have a drink. You have to be 18 years old or something to consent to various different things. You can't enter into any kind of legal contract. You can't get a fucking apartment. There's all these things you can't do until you're an adult, but you can make the decision to permanently and irreparably fuck your body up at 9. It's totally fucking insane. So no, I am absolutely against giving cross gender hormones to any child. Honestly, I don't think it should be done, period. I have very strong opinions on what we should do with that portion of this of our society. I think that that's why they put the wolves back in fucking Yellowstone. That's what I fucking think. Let's see. You guys look great together. Thank you very much. I do have a question though. Do steroids cause water retention in the face? Yes and no. If you take steroids and you don't control your estrogen, then you will get water retention in the face. Water retention is caused by unnaturally high estrogen levels. So the actual cause is you not controlling your estrogen. What will lead to that is taking, for example, if I inject 500 milligrams of test, as you can see, like I have lines in my face right now. The reason that these lines are in my face and my face is not big and round like it used to be is because I had allowed my estrogen to get too high, and I started getting moon face. If you control your estrogen, then you will not have water retention in your face. Hello from the Midlands. This is the best channel on YouTube. Thank you very much, Alex M. World Star Lift. Nexium is trash, bro. You need to add acid to close the valve. Killing acid is the worst way to fix it. Yeah, bro. That's what I'm finding out. I've been fucking up. So I don't know. I'll have to figure out a solution. Convulsor is the best indeed. Creamy Crypto. Guys, tell us a story about how you guys met, how fast it progressed. Wiz, I know you said you're new to the channel. Please search my YouTube channel page for, I think it's called How I Met My Wife. I think that's the name of the video.
It's definitely worth a watch.
You should definitely, if you want to know how Sarah and I got together, definitely look up How I Met My Wife on my channel page. It will give you all of that information. It's a lengthy video.
And don't judge too harshly.
It's a dirty story. Well, a good diet is obviously better than Nexium. Well, yeah, but I mean, a good diet's not going to change Tren and too much Cialis. I really admire how both of you are very honest with each other. Communication is definitely key. Robert Coben, thank you, sir. Yes, if there was one thing that I would point the finger at is the reason that Sarah and I have been able to survive everything that we have been through is that we do not lie to each other. We are honest and open with our feelings to a fault. And sometimes we have to hear shit about each other that we don't want to hear and we don't like. But our relationship is based on actually being in love with who each of us really is and not who the other person wants them to be. And so she knows all my dirt. I hope I know all her dirt. And so that, I think, is the single most important factor in any marriage, is absolute 100% transparency. What it the fan site, like, who cares, right? You can look up Denna Kalan, DENNAKAHLAN, is look that up on IG, actually, and that has all the links. Denna Kalan on IG will give you all the links you need. Interesting, good to know. Also, Stephen, don't be a weirdo. I don't know what that means. What is the best way to reduce? That was, by the way, Stephen. I was reading useful information's comment. I don't know who. I don't know. What is the best way to reduce water retention? Well, if the water retention is being caused by estrogen, then the best way to reduce water retention is by lowering your estrogen. If you are retaining water for some other reason, like you're dehydrated, then the solution is to drink more water. A lot of people don't understand that. You can actually start retaining. You can actually have edema for being dehydrated, and if you drink more water, then your body will stop holding on to it. But that's not generally caused. Like, if you have like edema, water retention around your ankles, you better go get your heart checked. So like things like congestive heart failure can cause water retention, edema. If the water retention is caused by steroid, but by you started after you began using steroids, then you need to you get your E2 checked and get it in control. Jen, I don't know why it's bothering me when people keep asking, is Sarah scared? I'm a female, and clearly it's not easy to see vids like the other day, but this is actually the way a couple on gear should be. Y'all communicate and know what you're signing up for. The bad ones are the girls that know nothing about it and have no idea why he acts the way he does. It's like I told Sarah the other day, I'm not the chick saying you need to leave him because it's just something you have to wait out. I think it just took people by surprise because no one is this transparent. I admit the pettiness kept me from liking the videos, but I think it made up for it. Yeah, Jen, the thing is that what I set out to do when I created this channel was to be brutally honest, because like I said, I didn't know that I was ever going to get a following. And so I set out to talk to the camera like I was talking to a therapist. And if you go to therapy and you're dishonest with your therapist, then your therapy is 100% going to fail. You cannot have productive therapy and lie to your therapist. And so I didn't know that I was going to be talking to an audience when I started doing this channel. And so, like I said, like, you guys saw some very ugly videos the other day that I made when Sarah and I were fighting, and even more extreme ugliness on the Discord. And the reason that I was so unhinged and unbridled is because it would be disingenuous for me to pretend like I'm not a fucking absolute raving asshole to this woman, because I am. I'm a total fucking asshole sometimes. When I get angry and triggered, I come completely unhinged on her, not terribly different than you see me come unhinged on people in my comments section. When I think somebody's behaving stupidly or ignorantly or making bad decisions or doesn't agree with me, I can be petty and angry and all of these things. And so I feel like it would be total bullshit for me to make all these videos talking about how great our sex life is, how great our marriage is, how I'm fucking king ding-a-ling, how she's this and that, and then pretend like the other half of it doesn't fucking happen. And just walk around like I'm also the greatest husband in the world. That's fucking bullshit. And so you guys are going to see me be a total fucking asshole sometimes. And if you care about my wife, it's going to be hard to watch. And I understand that. I don't expect anyone who likes me as a friend or likes her or respects the content that I put out. I don't expect you guys to celebrate me mistreating my wife. I'm not attempting to glorify my mistreatment of my wife. I am attempting to be totally fucking transparent and lay myself fucking raw and open so that you see who I really am, the good and the bads. Because the fact that you're still here says that you're willing to accept me for who I really am, the good and the bads. Those are relationships worth having in life. I don't want to fucking waste my time being Greg Doucette. Everybody's a circle and not fucking approach any of the scary topics or the controversial topics. Like, honestly, I was watching I'm constantly watching how many people are in this. And earlier when I admitted that there's been physical violence in my marriage, 10 people dropped out of the live. Now, maybe that was coincidental. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to look on my fucking channel page and find out that because I admitted that there was, no, it hasn't cost me any subs. But that's the thing. Like, I'm going to be who I really am. And then people will either take that or leave it. That's just it. So
I think that when I met Mike, I would have said, I just am who I am, and that I was in some ways that kind of person. I didn't feel like I put on for anybody or whatever. But being with Mike just takes that to a whole different level, because you can't be with Mike and not have all your shit out there, because he will hang all your dirty laundry out for the world to see. And it has taken a lot for me to become comfortable with that. And comfortable is a strong word, because nobody's super comfortable with somebody else airing out your dirty laundry. But it has made me so much more genuine. What I discovered was that the person I was least genuine with was me. And so by Mike airing out all my dirty laundry, I wanted to do it first. Like, I need to be like, I don't want somebody else doing that. I want to be the one to do it first. And it made me, and it has taken a lot. It was a lot of fighting and a lot of soul searching and a lot of pain, emotional pain, and losing people that I cared about, because I was like, I can't pretend anymore. And I can't be in this relationship and pretend. If I was not in this relationship, I would still not be honest with myself about who I am. So there's so much value in it. And while I really, really hate it, like when he was out and he's giving his perspective of how things go, and I'm like in the background going, you're lying on there. That is not what happened. You're misrepresenting me, and whatever it is. And he's giving his perspective. I can eventually kind of get past that, because he's not expecting me not to have my own perspective. No, he doesn't necessarily want me to, but he wants it to be the same as his, but don't we all? But he's not, I feel like it's part of being with that person. Just like when we were in the Discord having it out the other night, and somebody in there, I think maybe it was Ray, I can't remember, somebody was like, or Ray, it doesn't matter, Trina's life, it was like, well, you said you wanted an alpha, and this is an alpha. That's what you got. And I'm like, yeah. And everybody thinks this asshole thing is funny until it's turned on you. Nobody likes to be turned on them. And that's kind of where I was. But it will really, really make you know who you are. And then life is just so much more genuine all the way around.
Yeah, two things. So like, she's right. I forgot. Like, I'm the first fucking person to get on here and air out her fucking dirty laundry. So I've made foaming at the mouth videos disclosing very personal information about her body, how it functions or dysfunctions. And so it would be total bullshit for me to come on here and feel like it's okay for me to air out her dirty laundry and then hide all of mine. That is the very definition of dishonesty. That is the definition of trying to create a fucking character. And that's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to be as genuine as possible. When I do the trend rants, to some degree, that's me playing a character. It's not like I don't melt down in public, but I don't generally have 30-minute foaming at the mouth rants. I mean, I see you smiling like
just because it's true. You don't usually have those, but you do melt down in public, and it is.
Yeah. So it's like not a full character.
Yeah.
It's like basically who I am, but it's kind of dragged out
it's the extended version.
Yeah, it's the extended version. That's right. And so aside from that though, I don't try to, it's only fair that you guys see the ugly, horrible truth about me, because I'm gonna fucking tell you the ugly, horrible truth about her. I think there was something else that I wanted to say, but I don't remember now. No, I'm glad you, dude. I'm talking over the vast majority of this.
I'm over here talking about what's going on here with Ben's wife.
What does this say? Obviously, it's not easy for me to see, but in a weird way, it makes me feel better because I've been through it. That sounds shitty. Sorry, guys. I don't know what was shitty. Mike, do you respect people? Mike, do you respect people that are calm, cool, and collected? Roarburn. Yeah, I respect everyone to a degree. Like I think that everyone is entitled to be whoever they are. Like I don't want to try to force somebody to be somebody they're not. If somebody, but I would say that I'm less trusting of someone who is constantly calm, cool, and collected. Because and I think it's just because it's so polar opposite my attitude. So like I want to believe that a person who is never has a blow up is hiding, that they're not being genuine, because I think that everyone has meltdowns and blow ups. And so when I see somebody who's constantly trying to comport themselves in this professional manner, it makes me feel like you're not being genuine with me. So I only know the version of you that you feel comfortable putting forward. And I'm not really interested in that person. I want to know all your fucking skeletons in your closet. I want to know who you really are, because I want to know. Then I can make an educated decision on who I'm going to have relationships with, which is why I generally just don't have relationships with human beings, because very few people are honest with themselves and much less honest with anybody else. So if a person is just really and genuinely calm, cool, and collected and never given to bouts of rage or anger, then yeah, fine. I just, it's hard for me to imagine that that's the case. Her dad is probably an example of this, honestly. If I was her dad, I would have offed me 8 fucking years ago. If any man tried to treat my daughter the way I have treated this woman, he's not going to. He's not fucking going to. I'm trying to be careful what I say here. There is no fucking chance in hell I would have tolerated it.
My dad addressed that because one time when we split up, when he said to me, he was like, I want you to know that the reason that I don't go after your husband, and at the time that I had filed for divorce, so we were separated. And he was like, the reason I've never gone after your husband or never is because you're a grown woman and you made these choices and you're living with the consequences of your decisions. And he said, we advised you not to make this decision and you did it anyway. And that's your decision as a grown woman. And so
that's true.
He was very clear. It's not that I don't want to.
Yeah. And that makes sense. And I can respect that. I mean, she was 35 at the time. Like when I say my daughter, I'm imagining in like her early 18s, early 20s, like first relationship kind of thing. The other thing that you have to understand about Sarah, like it or not, she knew exactly who the fuck she was marrying when she married me. She knew all about my criminal history. She knew my ex-wife. She knew exactly what I did to that girl. So she has no excuses here. She knew exactly what she was buying. And then when she got a dose of it, it's like, that's one of the things. It's like I always say, like you don't climb in the cage with the fucking lion in the zoo and then call the cops because he chewed your fucking face off. Like you did that to you. To some degree, she did this to herself. She got into this fucking marriage with a guy who is half cocked all the time. And it bit her. She got bit. And thankfully, she stuck with me. And thankfully, I grew as a person. And I'm better now than I've ever been in life. And I have her to thank for it, because if she had walked out the fucking door, if she hadn't held me accountable, if she hadn't demanded basically that I go to therapy and that I work on myself, and if, there's a lot of ifs, I could have very easily have been that guy who was twice divorced, running around in the club talking about women ain't shit. The fact of the matter was I wasn't shit. I was a fucking bad dude that had a lot of fucking serious personal problems that I needed to fucking work out. And thankfully, she stuck around long enough for me to get my shit handled. So,
well, and that went both ways. So
it did go both ways. Definitely gonna watch it after this live. Part of why I like you so much is because you're so transparent, man. Everybody tries to act like they got no skeletons. Nobody's perfect. Yeah, everybody has skeletons. 100% of people. Brian Spicer, have y'all ever done MDMA together? Yes, we have had 2, maybe 3 MDMA experiences. I don't think it's extreme to say that 1 or 2 of those experiences might be the only reason we're still married. That our first MDMA experience was probably the most healing thing we ever did. We were both carrying around a lot of baggage and anger about things that we had both done to not value each other. We had both behaved in ways that we would not behave. We would not have behaved in had we truly valued each other.
And then we had continued to not value each other, even accidentally, I think, because we couldn't hear each other afterward. We could not. And that's what the MDMA did was, that's the thing I kept saying was, oh my God, you can hear me.
Yeah.
Like for some reason on that, he could hear my heart and not my female. And I could hear, and the same for him.
I 100% believe that drug should absolutely be put into therapy sessions in every corner of this fucking planet.
It was one night we made as much progress or more progress than we made in a year of therapy, thousands upon thousands of dollars.
And that's like anecdotally what they say is that one MDMA experience is equivalent to 6 months of intensive psychotherapy. And that was absolutely true because we did the psychotherapy. I was going to therapy. We were going to couples therapy. She was going to therapy. When we were trying to save our marriage, when she filed for a divorce against me, we pulled out all the fucking stops. So we have done extensive fucking levels of psychotherapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, all of that shit. One MDMA experience, and it allowed us to, what it really did is it melted our defenses. It took us out of the constantly waiting for your turn to talk, looking for all the ways that your partner is trying to, hustle you, twist something. It like lays your defenses low and it just exposes you and it just allows you to truly hear the other person and connect with what they're really trying to say rather than trying to read shit into it and all this other crap. And it probably fucking saved our marriage. I mean, it definitely gave us the tools for how we know, because I had some shit that I could not fucking get over. It was a minor thing she did, and I could not fucking cope with it. And it kept coming up. Like we would have 3 months of fucking bliss, and I could go for a walk and I could remember this event, and I would just attack her. I would go right in the shitter. I could not let go of it. And that MDMA experience taught me how to fucking let that go. And when nothing else had worked, years of therapy hadn't worked, nothing we had done worked. So yeah, definitely very valuable. Anyway, for every 10 drops out there, there are 20 added next live that appreciate the realness. Oh yeah, in this channel, watch how quick this channel grows if you keep it up. Thank you, Brian Rouse.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, please share, guys. Help me grow this thing. It would take a lot for me to stop watching. I think the majority, thanks, Creamy Crypto. I think majority of people don't know who they are. That's why it's hard to talk. Now, yeah, I think that's one of the things that actually turns people off to me is like what she was explaining earlier. In order to be in a relationship with me, you can't have skeletons in your closet. You can't lie to yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. And so what I do is I actually put a mirror on my audience. When I think when a person sees another human being sitting here being this fucking transparent, saying, I don't need to tell you guys any of this shit. And I think what it does is it causes people to start thinking about the skeletons in their closet, and they don't like it. They don't want to fucking cope with it. They're like, oh, that doesn't feel good. I don't want to think about that. I got to stop listening to this guy because he's making me question who I am. He's making me question my level of honesty. He's making me question my level of authenticity. Maybe I should go talk to my wife and be more genuine, more honest. I cause people to come to grips with the fact that they're not working on them. And a lot of people are just not ready to cope with that. And so they fucking bounce. They can't cope with it. So it's just like, what was that saying? Like like in the movie Fight Club, when Rupert or whatever his name is going from recovery group to recovery group because it's what's helping him cry. And then Marla Singer comes along and he says, I can't cry with another faker in the group. That's what I represent to a lot of fake motherfuckers. You can't watch my channel and respect yourself while being fake. So if you can't come to grips with who you are, watching me is going to fuck your shit up. You're not going to be able to cope with it. And that's what she was saying.
Especially if you identify with any of the things you're saying. So like
Yeah.
if you're like, whether it's the steroids or your prison stories or your homeless stories or your any stories, your relationship stuff, like anytime you start to identify and then you're like, but there's this whole other side of him. And then you got to wonder how much of that is in you. And I know that because I've been there.
Because you've been through it.
Yeah.
But once you get over the fucking hurt, the hurdle of like being afraid to be genuine with yourself and the people around you, there is no replacing it. It is the greatest feeling. You cannot fucking cancel me. If I blow the fuck, I've been joking. I'm not really joking. Like I've been saying I'm gonna run for president in 2028, just because like why not? Who gives a shit? Anybody can do it.
Never mind.
What?
You don't even have to be president. Like you don't even have to. You can have dementia and run for president.
Yeah, I could be fucking in a vegetable apparently and be president. So what was the point?
You were gonna run for president.
Yeah, but why am I talking about this? Fuck, I don't
Being
even.
real.
You can't cancel me. Okay. So if I became president of the United States one day, there is nothing anybody could ever dig up on me that I haven't already admitted to. That is the greatest feeling in the world. And that's why I don't want to take my channel down. See, these motherfuckers that I'm going on job interviews, they're trying to make me fake. They're trying to put me back in the box. They're trying to put my skeletons back in the closet. Fuck you, motherfuckers. I don't want my skeleton in the closet. I'm not ashamed of who I am. Stop trying to make me hide who I am. I want to have a job. I want to be employed by somebody who will accept me for who I am as a human being and let me go do their fucking job. Because every one of their employees is just as fucked up as I am. In some way or another, their employees are all fucked up. They're just dishonest about it. And I want to live a genuine fucking life. And so if I blow up one day, no matter where I go in life, you cannot fucking cancel me because I already unloaded. I've already given you all the dirt. Realest dude on YouTube right now. Thank you, Brian. Marriage Fight Club. Lol, just noticed the hat. That's hilarious. Yep. I'm about to get another one, I think, that says Triple 19 Mafia on it for the Triple 19 door compounds.
I'm trying to get him to do merch.
If your channel blew up to 1 million subs and sponsors, not getting your channel deleted, would you reel back? No, I will never reel back. I do not want to have 1 million subs if I have to be fake to get them. I do not want to succeed by being a fake fucking person. That is not success. That is failure. If I have to change who I am to grow a 1 million subscriber audience, I don't want that audience.
There are very few things that I think you are incapable of. And
I can't do it.
I don't think you're capable of that. You've never been able to, you used to talk about the mask of sanity slipping and you've never been able to maintain it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's why I'm afraid when I say we might end up homeless, I don't know if I have it in me to take this channel down. Sorry, I got a spot on my computer. It's making me mental. It's like right on my face while I'm talking. I may have to take my channel down. We were talking about it last night. In order for me to get a job, I might have to private my fucking Instagram, private my Facebook, take down my YouTube channel. I might need to do all of those things to get a job. And I'm really nervous that I don't have it in me to do it. And that if I have to choose between homelessness and being fake, I would rather be real on the street than fake in the fucking corner office of some Fortune 500 company. Because at the end of the day, I have to look at myself in the fucking mirror. So what good is it going to do me to have some great job and make a bunch of fucking money if I hate the face that I'm staring at? Or if every single day when I get out of my fucking BMW to walk into the office, I have to put the fucking mask of sanity back on and pretend to be somebody I'm not. I just don't think I can maintain it for any length of time. So I feel like if I con somebody into hiring me because they think I'm somebody different than I really am, I'm just going to end up losing the job anyway when they find out the truth. So like, why even waste the fucking time doing it? MDMA experience, my girlfriend was the best thing ever for me and her. Yeah, Brian. Getting to 1 million is the hard part. Think the algorithm has him shadow banned. Yeah, it's weird, dude. I don't know what the algorithm does. Like, I tag all my videos as containing recreational drug content because I don't know if that's what they consider steroids. I think they do. I don't know if that gets you kind of knocked down because you're not making wholesome content. But again, like, what can I do? Like, it's a grassroots campaign. I just need more people to share me with their friends, share me with their coworkers, share me with somebody you think might fucking hate me. That's the thing. Like, half my audience is probably fucking haters. Share me with your boss. Like, share me with anybody. Like, look at this fucking lunatic. Look at this guy talking to his wife. Look at this guy, whatever. Fuck, man. Share me with anybody because it's probably going to take a grassroots campaign for me to grow this to anything. What do you think about people that spend so much time debating religion and the existence of God, especially people that spend 8+ hours a day online that talk about it? Roarburn, I used to have an entire YouTube channel devoted to doing nothing other than arguing fucking religion. I am an atheist. It is a total fucking waste of time. I spent so much time. I've sold atheism to one person. In all of my trying to get people to see the light of fucking day as it pertains to religion, she is the only fucking one who has been willing to buy into what I had to say. The vast majority of people cling to their religion in the same way that they cling. It has nothing to do with belief. It has everything to do with fear. And what she had to do to rid herself of a lifetime of belief was unbelievable to behold. What that cost her, it cost her entire family, basically. Cost her every relation, everything. And that takes a really fucking strong person to be able to do that. And most people on this fucking planet are too weak to even try it. So I have completely lost. I make, like, if you Roarburn, if you search my channel page, you'll see I've made some Bible study videos taken down, like explaining how ignorant different books of the Bible or different pieces of scripture are. But I'm probably not going to make that content anymore because it's just a waste of fucking time. All it does is piss people off and nobody changes their views. Yeah, you're right, DD. All the 1 million, all the people with millions of fucking subscribers are just fake as the fucking day is long. And one for Sarah. Brad Pitt. Wiz wants to know Brad Pitt, Chris Hemsworth, Michael Jordan. I'm guessing he's which one's hottest? Which one would you take? Do you know who Chris Hemsworth is?
No.
I think he played like Thor or something. Look on your phone because I can't.
Yeah. Well, let me look and you go on and I'll look it up.
You know who Michael Jordan is, right?
I do know who Michael Jordan is.
You know who Brad Pitt is?
Yes.
I think I know who you're going to pick, but let's see. Dead air.
Oh, that's kind of hard. I can't see Chris Hemsworth's body, but
well, he got a little bit big for a role he played. I'm pretty sure
for that one for
yeah
Thor. Chris Hemsworth is not bad for sure, but I guess I'd go Brad Pitt, which is interesting because I was not a Brad Pitt fan when I was younger, but now that I'm old, older guys are hotter. Maybe I don't know.
So Brad Pitt, if you had to pick.
I guess, yeah.
Shocking that you can't absolutely decide. So what it really means is it's between Brad Pitt and Chris Hemsworth, and whichever one goes, get over here, that's the one she's going with. That's the one she's going. Whichever, if Brad Pitt and Chris Hemsworth were both, it would be whoever chased her the hardest is who she would end 100%. Up with. See?
That is the only reason I got married the first time.
See? Relentless. Guys, if you can't get a girl, be fucking relentless.
When I got married the first time, there had been a number of guys that were like, hey, let's go out, whatever. There was this huge thing in this church where I was going to, and there were all these group dates. And I'm like, so anyway, I had gone out with a whole bunch of different guys on a date or two or whatever. And then my husband came and he was like, or the guy who became my first husband, he came and he sought me out and he was like, basically, I've decided I want to get married and I choose you. So let's, and that's, I was like, oh my God, he's so
aggressive.
He was so aggressive. and it was so hot and I liked it. So then I met this guy who was way more aggressive. Here I am.
See, confidence is king. Is it key? King. Confidence is key. What does it say? TW. I know the homeless series was emotionally taxing, but that shit got me hooked. I could tell you wanted to be a writer, compelling storytelling. Can't wait for the next. Yeah, if I wasn't doing this live tonight, I would have produced another homeless story. I'm almost finally to the point where I actually end up homeless. It's taking. He's like, I'm technically kind of homeless because I don't have my own home in the video series so far, but I'm actually literally going to be homeless living on the street. And that part is rapidly approaching. Me too, Brian. I'm so hyped for that next part. When it comes to religion, my wife, if the only one that took time to hear my story, I am the pagan. When it comes to
religion, is the only person.
Okay. Yeah. I have to say that I'm an atheist is kind of misleading. Because I don't believe it's impossible that there is a God. So let me clarify that. I believe that our lives are scripted, which is what the Bible says in Romans 8:28 through 30, that for whoever God foreknew, he also called to be according to his purpose, or something like that. That he predestined and he called. It's called the doctrine of predestination. So in the Bible, it says that basically you don't have any free will. In Romans 8:28 through 30 or 31, basically the Bible says that you don't have a choice to believe or not. That this is predetermined prior to your creation. And so I believe, kind of consistent with that, that our lives, I'm basically a fatalist. I don't really believe that we have any free will, that our lives are scripted and by something greater than us. So that could be God, that could be the Matrix, that could be whatever the fuck. I do not think that we are independently in control of our lives. So to say that I'm an atheist, when I say that, I don't believe that there's a God who individually cares about your life, and that if you pray to him, it's going to make anything better. Because even in the Bible, it's always God's will be done. So I've never understood Christians who are like, hey, God, can you help me win this bodybuilding show? Can you help me pay my taxes? Like, whatever. Even if the Christian God is real, he has already scripted your existence. His will is always going to be done. And so even if you ask for something and then get it, it just means that he had already willed it. So this cyclical thing where you think you have control of your life is actually impossible. There's no possible way that God can be who he claims to be and you actually have free will, because that would mean he doesn't know how things are going to end, which makes him not God. So I believe that there is something greater than us that has scripted our lives, and I don't give a shit what you call that thing because it's irrelevant. You just don't have any free will. Science is the jury is not out. Free will is an absolute illusion. When it comes to love the answer, did one for you too. Megan Fox. Oh, this is so easy. Megan Fox, Margot Robbie, or Angelina Jolie?
Oh wait, I know. Margot.
If you had asked me this question before I saw The Wolf of Wall Street, I would have said Angelina Jolie without a question. My entire life, Angelina Jolie was the girl in Hollywood that I would have picked. Angelina Jolie in fucking Tomb Raider is about as fucking good as I would have thought you could get until Margot Robbie walked on the scene of The Wolf of fucking Wall Street and stole my goddamn soul. If Margot Robbie shows up at my front door right now, I'm gonna be in trouble.
I'm gonna be in trouble.
Like,
She
Mark
totally puddled him so much. He was like online trying to get like to find out if these were her real feet because he's a feet guy.
and Barbie.
And then he was like, "Hey, Allie, you want to watch Barbie? We should watch a Barbie movie." I'm like, "I know what you're doing."
That I told Sarah, like, they need to fucking like that intro to Barbie where she steps forward in that heel. Dude, I have a foot fetish. Okay, you can't put that shit on screen in the goddamn living room during family time. That literally has the same effect on me as looking at absolutely X-rated content. Blasting that on the screen to somebody like me is totally unacceptable. I felt guilty. I kept telling her, like, dude, I'm trying not to look at it. The thing of it is, though, is that Margot Robbie.
Because we never look at X-rated content that way.
Yeah, Margot Robbie off screen. In Wolf of Wall Street, that's the thing. When you're talking about these actresses, like Angelina Jolie as a human being, gag a fucking maggot. Like, I wouldn't last 2 fucking seconds with that libtard bitch. But as Tomb Raider, see, that's the thing. You've got the woman and the character she's playing. Angelina Jolie as Tomb Raider is one of the hottest things in the world. Is Mrs. Smith, smoking fucking hot. Angelina Jolie, the real person, absolute pass, hardcore, all day, every day. She could not possibly be hot enough to justify that personality. Margot Robbie, I don't know who she is in real life, but the character she plays in Wolf of Wall Street, holy fuck. Like, that is too much for anyone to fucking cope with. That scene in the Wolf of Wall Street where she's mad at Leo and she's in the room and she spreads her legs and she says, "Mommy's not wearing panties anymore." Just fucking unfair is what this is. It's like when we watch adult films, like, she's all into the lead up. She's more into the build up because then she can do like little things in her mind with it and make it hot. Like, that is my lead up. Like, if I had one non-X-rated thing that I was going to get excited about, and you know what, to be honest with you, I want to just watch that scene. That scene is such a turn on to me that I feel like I can't watch it. I feel like it would be borderline cheating on my wife for me to sit there and watch that scene. It's too much. It's too much. Sarah, would you say that a man that works out and stays in shape gives them a much higher chance of finding a woman?
I think statistically, yes, but I also think that statistically, a man that is this size has a lower chance. So it's like, as Mike always says, Brad Pitt in Fight Club, that's your best chance. But statistically, yes, I think it does. Because even so, like, I have never really cared about that ever. But when I first met Mike, and Mike was not big at all, that he had been working out some, I don't know, maybe he was maybe like 100, I don't know, 150 pounds at the time. And but he was so lean and so chiseled, and I remember one time
Brad Pitt.
I was like, I felt like, oh my God, I feel like I'm with a Greek god. Like, I was just blown away by it. So it's kind of like, you know, I don't care anything at all about the car that some guy drives. But when the guy comes and picks you up in a really nice car, it feels good, even though you were just as happy to go out with the guy that was driving the Hyundai. I mean, if any of y'all drive Hyundais, it's great. But
I had a Hyundai when we got together.
Oh my God, you're right, you did. So, but even if you're with that,
you'd be just
happy to be with that guy. But there is something that's hot about getting in the car, you know, when the guy came and picked me up. I used to have this thing about the Audi TT. I love the Audi TT. And some guy came and picked me up for a date in an Audi TT hardtop convertible.
She didn't know what that meant if a guy's driving an Audi TT, though.
And And I thought that it was really great. Now, it wasn't great enough to get a second date, but it was really fun at that moment. So, do I think that there is value in those things in getting a date with a girl? Yes. Do I think that there's significant value in the average girl for keeping her? No.
The statistic, I actually looked into this. Statistically speaking, guys that are built like me, girls will sleep with us, but they typically don't choose to marry us. So, like, I would have a lot of ability to sleep around, but statistically speaking, women don't view an extremely muscular guy as like a safe provider that's going to stand by her and take care of her. Maybe because she assumes that he, can run around on her. But I'll see if I can find this study. There was actually a study done where they polled women and they had them rate bodies, and they were more likely to choose, the lesser built guy as the person they would marry, but they were very willing to sleep with the guy who had the fucking six-pack abs and the muscles.
On Instagram, there's this regular thing. It goes around. I see it every couple of weeks, and it's an image, and it has a torso body type of a man, and it goes from skinny with no muscles, and there are 9 of them, all the way up to this big fat guy. So there's this whole, all the different ones, and very few people pick the like 4 to 6 or whatever it is, or 5 to 7, the guys that are built more like Mike. Very few people pick those men. They almost always pick either the really skinny or even the really fat guys. But in between, it's very interesting. And I used to tell Mike in the beginning, I don't want you to get too big. I'm not attracted to that. I don't like the really big guys. I don't think that's attractive. And the bigger he's got, the more attracted I have become.
I don't think you would have been attracted to me in the beginning at this size.
No, 0% chance.
See?
It had to grow with me. But now I can look at other men that are his size, and I know what went into that. And it can be a lot more attractive, because to me, it says something about what he's willing to go through, how committed he can be to something. And so, and maybe that's, not accurate. Maybe, he can be super committed to that and not committed to a girl. That doesn't, it doesn't necessarily mean that he can be, but it does say something about his ability. Maybe he's not that committed to his job. I don't know, but he at least has the capability.
Yeah. Do me a favor, because this question's coming up. You need to look up Christian Bale in The Machinist.
Okay. Oh, I just did that the other day by accident.
You need to look that up, because somebody asked a question about that. I would guess she had picked Thor. I would have guessed she had picked Thor. Again, Brian, she would pick Thor if he was the aggressor chasing her. What about Angelina in Gone in 60 Seconds? I'm trying to remember. Yeah. I'm having trouble remembering Angelina in Gone in 60 Seconds. I think nature, genetics, nurture, environment, and a whole shit ton of luck determines life. Don't think it's any big greater thing. Hey, yeah, the high heel scene in the Wolf of Wall Street was wild. Jen Green, Josh had that huge pic of the scene of the heel on his forehead. Oh my God. That dude, yeah, so unfair, that scene. So criminal in the playroom. Yeah. And even the voice works on me. That's the thing. Even that voice. God damn it, man. The thing is, she's Australian. And when she talks in her normal accent, I'm like, no, go back to, no, get back in character, damn it. That's the thing. I probably wouldn't like her as a person. What about Jennifer Aniston? Total fucking dog. I have never in my life understood what anybody saw in Jennifer Aniston. I swear to fucking God, I would not give her a fucking single second look. I don't like her at all. She was in one movie where she was tolerable. It's possible that I hate Jennifer Aniston because, you ready for this? I think Friends was one of the single worst fucking television shows ever fucking made. I hated every single character on that show. That is the biggest piece of shit show ever. Like, if somebody tells me they're like, I see somebody wearing a Friends shirt and I'm like, I don't want to have anything to fucking do with you. Angelina Jolie overrated. Denise Richards was hot. DD, my man. Denise Richards in Wild Things, those eyeballs will stop your fucking heart. Denise Richards had a moment where she was a smoker, and Wild Things, she came into her own. Sarah, okay, here, Sarah, if you had a boyfriend that came and picked you up right. Sarah, what if you had a boyfriend that came and picked you up riding an e-bike?
I would not have that boyfriend, and I would not be going out with that guy. And there's nothing wrong with that guy, but I would not be going out with him.
Before we ask her another question and she talks for a second, I'm gonna do a product spot. I'm clearly not sponsored by these people, but if you have never had Sour Patch Lemonade Fest, I just found these today. Holy fuck, these are amazing. Okay, here we go. Oh shit. What the chick from Baywatch with blue eyes does something to men, deaf celebrity. I guess that I can't. What was her name? Pamela Anderson. I was never a big titty guy. That was never my thing. Like I never cared about big titties. Okay, here you go. I know the Sarah, Nick Walker or Christian Bale in The Machinist.
Is this Christian Bale in The Machinist?
Yes.
I've been married to that guy.
I looked like Christian Bale in The Machinist when I was a tweaker.
Oh my God. I mean, for real. He got down to 123 pounds when we were together. 123 pounds.
5'10".
So that was pretty much like Christian Bale there. Nick Walker. Nick Walker.
The bodybuilder.
Oh.
Hey, before you answer this though,
this is really,
you have to take the whole person.
Christian Bale. And I love Nick Walker. That's the thing is I really love Nick Walker. In fact, before he went pro, I was following him. I don't remember even how I came across him on
She was
Instagram.
a super fan.
And I was like posting his stuff like on my story. I'm like, Mike, look at this guy. He was just so adorable and his personality was so sweet. That was back when he was dating Jazzy Fresh, remember?
Yep.
And I just really thought he seems like this sincerely like sweet guy, like a big teddy bear. But I can't be with that kind of guy. I can't. I would run that show so like.
What she's saying is the reason that she chooses Christian Bale over Nick Walker
is because he was
Nick.
Psycho.
Nick, I'm sorry. What I'm about to say is cruel.
You don't have to say it.
This Lemonhead, this Sour Patch Kid is smarter than Nick Walker.
Do you know what?
That's true.
And it doesn't matter because Nick Walker has a good team and he has lovely family and he is doing his thing. He has found something he is gifted in and he works his ass off for it. He's a dedicated guy.
He's probably a phenomenal guy. He's got 4 brain cells, and Sarah could never be with a guy that's not very, very intelligent. She just couldn't do it.
I couldn't. I need a man who is very, very intelligent. That's the number one thing. And very, I need a guy who's aggressive. A guy, like I told Mike in the beginning, like I wanted a guy who was able to put me in my place because I had never been with that guy. I thought that my first husband might be that guy and he had some potential, but it wasn't who he was. And regardless, we had a whole host of other problems that weren't his fault. But I needed that kind of person and I had never found him until Mike.
The thing that y'all need to understand, whether you like it or not, and this is I think she's gonna back me here. When y'all see me being a total fucking asshole in these fights, the reality is that this woman right here is an extremely strong personality. And she will walk the fuck all over any man who does not stand his fucking ground. There are a lot of times where I have no choice but to be a son of a bitch to keep this marriage together because I have got to put her in her place. And the primo makes it worse. She's more aggressive and she is a fucking man eater at heart if you let her. I won't let her.
I just wanted you to put me in my place when I'm out of my place.
Which is every day. Some part of every day, I have to grab you and put you back in your place. This has actually been entertaining tonight. Mike, would you say people treated you with more respect when you became muscular than when you were skinny in the early 2000s? Roarburn, everybody who's listening to me. When I got big, it absolutely morphed my professional career. I spent 20 years in outside sales. There is no way to quantify how much respect you get from other men when you are built like me. When I was skinny and I tried to walk into a business, or I tried to I tried to be a salesman, I tried to get somebody's attention, I was walking through a fat, like the way I was treated as a skinny man compared to the way I am now, night and fucking day different. When I would walk into a business, I could like when I was still in sales, I would walk in an overhead door into some production facility, somewhere I had absolutely nowhere to be, looking for the contact, like looking for the person that I could possibly sell a forklift to. And I would have people who worked in this company walk over and be like, "Damn, bro, you're big as fuck. Like, what do you?" They would immediately start talking about my body. And then we instantly had like this brotherhood. And then they wanted to help me. They'd be like, "What are you doing, bro? What are you doing in here?" I'm like, "Hey, man, can you tell me who oversees the forklifts?" They're like, "Yeah, dude, come on with me." So when you get big as a man, while it will definitely help you get girls, it gives you credibility with other men that is unbelievable. Every single place I go in the world, I am instantaneously respected. And this hit home in the hardest way. When I had first gotten pretty fucking big, my wife and I and both of our kids, two of our kids, my daughter and my youngest son, we were in New Orleans, Louisiana. And we had gone we had gotten out of the quarter. I was trying to take them to look at the graveyards. And we had come down this side street, walking back to the quarter. And there was literally prostitutes with their pimp. And the pimp was like, dude, he was like checking this girl. And so we're in this dark ass fucking road, me, my wife, and my two kids. And these dudes are big. It's three big black dudes. Big. And I start I fucking puffed up. I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like trying to get in front of my family. We didn't have any weapons or anything on us. And I start approaching these guys, and I think this is getting ready to be a problem.
You said that. You whispered that to me.
Yeah, I was like, "Hey, fucking pay attention."
I'm like picking up Allison.
I approached these three guys who were literally in the middle of pimping this girl, and the biggest guy in the group stepped off of the sidewalk into the street and goes, "Damn, this dude looks like he could bench press me." They moved and let my wife and I and our kids walk down this street, and that shit, we were both like, what the fuck just happened? There is no way to quantify or value what it does for you as a man, especially with other men in this world when you are built.
The first time we went to Miami, we saw that one guy that was really, really big bodybuilder,
Yeah.
remember? And it was like the crowds kind of parted as he went through. And now that's you. To some degree. Like the crowds will part, for my,
like I used to worry about fashion or something. Cause somebody might make fun. I wear what the fuck I want. I walk around town in a Trenemy hat, my Christian Louboutin shoes. Like when you're big, you can set style. You can create fashion. Like I can go anywhere I want. I never worry about shit. Nobody fucks with me. Everyone is deferential to me. It is the greatest feeling in the world. That's what I'm saying. For me, there's no going back. Having this kind of body is so much more. It is a lifestyle change. It will totally change your entire life.
I feel like it gave you this is what fits your personality. You already had the big the
It was a little dog with a big bite.
Yes, but now,
yeah. Bark.
Well, and a big bite.
Yeah.
But you know, now it just fits your personality more.
Yeah. It is invaluable.
He is not the big teddy bear.
No, I'm not. Hey Mike. Oh no. Will you get that plug? My laptop is about to die. If this crashes, sorry, I'm gonna try to plug it in real quick. I have one in here. Oh, you got one? Hi Mike, thank you so much for the excellent advice you put out. It saved my marriage. Wow, I can't believe I saved somebody's marriage, Neo Geo, but I'm very happy that I could help. The nerd with the Audi that can't protect you like the jacked guy with the Hyundai. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, there's nothing comparing. Listen to this bonehead. Oh, here we go. I don't know, Rudy Root. She was in Office Space though. Yeah, you know what? There you go, DD. You're right. You're right. That's the one. You called it. What's her name? No, Friends girl that they were talking about. Jennifer Aniston in Office Space was definitely her best look. You are absolutely right. I would hook up with Jennifer Aniston in Office Space. Yes, sir. You have 100% corrected me. That was her best fucking character, possibly one of the best. Sarah, what's the wait a minute. Yeah. Sarah, what's the most attractive, eye-catching muscle to you on Mike/men? I know a lot of studies say glutes for the sleuts.
Well, apparently I'm not a sleut because mine is definitely the delts. 100%, no question.
The delts, baby. That works out well for me.
I said that like in the very beginning. I was like, it's the V taper that gets me. It's that V taper and those delts, and then he had them. So I don't know.
There was actually a time when we first got together, though. She says the delts, but I believe her. But there was one time we were in bed. We're like laying in bed, and we first got together, and she had her arm on my bicep, and she goes, I can't believe these arms belong to me. That's what she said.
I still can't.
Oh my God. Yeah, Jennifer Aniston is what girls think guys like. Mike, how about Sandra Bullock in Speed? Damn.
I haven't seen that yet, I don't think.
Sandra Bullock in Speed is probably the best Sandra Bullock. You're right. I really like Sandra Bullock in Speed. We got to watch that. After that, I not so much. But yeah, she was cute as fuck in Speed for sure. Mike, I've been eating the Extreme Sour Patch Kids. Yes. Jason Statham, hot, says Jen. Sarah, can I get a ruling? That's funny. That's funny. Nick's got that monkey smashing the cymbals in his head from Toy Story when someone asked him a question. Yeah, I love Nick Walker, dude. I'm not trying to take anything away from the guy. I'm sure he'd be the first person in the world to tell you that he was blessed with a fucking outrageous physique. He might win the O this year. He's got a battle, though, because I can never remember the dude's name, the 212 guy.
Darren Lunsford.
Derek Lunsford is a fucking Derek Lunsford. I think possibly, like, I'm a huge Cutler fan. God damn, Derek Lunsford has got it all. He is an absolute monster of a man. And I for as much as I love Nick, he is a freak. I think Derek Lunsford is much more aesthetically pleasing than Nick. Part of that, unfortunately, is those veins, man. But Nick got those unfortunate fucking veins in his legs. I don't think he should be dinged for that, but you can't help but notice it. Like, we're visual people. Even subtracting the veins from the equation, Derek Lunsford is just, he's a monster, dude. Jason Statham. I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna insult me right now.
Oh, because I'm gonna say something about his hair.
Yeah.
No. I did not know who that was. I did not recognize that. I couldn't come up with a picture.
He was in the Expendables.
Yeah, and I didn't know who he was then either.
Yeah.
No, not Jason Statham.
Not Jason Statham, she says.
But there's the thing. Like, if I saw him in a role that if the role was hot, I'll tell you exactly who I think has been at times the hottest man in the world, aside from Mike, is Marky Mark. What's his name?
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, not Donnie.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg.
And I discovered the thought that when he had his cameo in, what was that show you didn't like with the Entourage? He had this cameo in Entourage, and he was like, I don't know, something about his whole attitude and his look. And I was like, oh my God. And then I saw him in some other things, and I thought he was very attractive. So his body type, I think, is really, really attractive. And then his attitude, which it's that kind of bad boy,
cocky attitude.
Yeah, but then
late in life though, he went nasty.
I don't know. I haven't looked at him late in life. I don't know.
Oh, you hate him.
But I also loved Ryan Reynolds when he was young. When he was on Two Guys, a Girl in a Pizza Place, he was Bird.
Douchebag.
And I thought he was so hot in that show. And then but now he's really old and seems. But I was going to say, because we were talking about, like, it's not always the looks, is Ed Norton, I think, is.
In what movie?
I don't think Ed Norton is hot physically in any way, really. But I think that, like, his brain, I would fall in love with like that, I think. He's a fucking weirdo.
Are you going to sit here and tell me you wouldn't be all over Ed Norton in American History X?
I can't really picture him in that.
Look up Ed Norton, American History X. I used to be obsessed with Ed Norton in American History X. And then I got yes, because his body. I was upset when I was growing up. I was obsessed with Mark Wahlberg in Fear. I idolized. It's shocking that I'm a lunatic just like that character. I actually am. Like, I should have played Fear. If they remade Fear today, I should play the character.
No.
What? Oh, he see. I used to think he was big.
He's not big.
He's not big at all. In that movie, he looked big. Yeah, I idolized Mark Wahlberg in Fear, everything about it. But he went nuts when he got older.
They're all nuts. Like, we're people to talk.
Yeah.
We're like those crazy people.
Jen Green, yeah, girl. The quiet aggressive for some reason gets me. Hinch Jason Statham. Quiet aggressive is probably the type most serial killers are. Hell yeah, Mike, you inspire me to get back in shape. Roarburn, it is the best decision you could ever make. About the being jacked and respect thing, does the pendulum also swing the other way where guys are intimidated and talk more behind your back out of jealousy, or they try to test the big guy? You're the second person, Wiz. I actually worked with a guy named Chris who asked me one day that he was like, do guys ever fuck with you? Do they ever like try to test you? Because, like, oh, this guy thinks he's really big. He's a badass. I have 100% never been tested by anyone even close. And I have given so many people an excuse. So no, in my experience, no one has ever tried to test the big guy. And when you look like this and feel like this, if somebody, even if I thought somebody was snickering or backbiting or talking about me behind my back, dude, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck at all. I just automatically assume that everybody who's smaller than me is by default jealous. So, like, I just assume when I walk into the room that every single guy in the gym is like, fuck. Because I know what it used to be like when I was like coming up. You know, I was like a solid 175 chiseled. And then like the guy that was 215 would walk in the door and you're like, God damn it. I felt big until this motherfucker walked in. I love being the guy that can walk into the room in most places, not everywhere. There's plenty of, if I went to the fucking Olympia, I'd be a nobody, right? But in 90% of the places that I go, there's a big guy in there that thought he looked good until he saw me walk through the fucking door. And even if he's bigger than me, he's nowhere near as jacked and peeled and ripped. And you can almost feel their confidence fucking deflate. Like, you can see them go, oh, I fucking love that feeling. I live for it. So if somebody's like behind my back talking shit, I don't give a fuck at all. Have you ever been to Shreveport, Louisiana? Yes, I've been to Shreveport tons of fucking times. When I was a kid, I had a fucking car that I put a badass car stereo system in that I loved nothing more than listening to car audio music. I had 3 JL Audio 10s, MB Core component systems in the doors, MB Core component systems on the deck. I had it all wired with a fucking shit ton of amps. And I would get in the car like 3 or 4 nights a week and just drive from Dallas to Shreveport, Louisiana. I would get to Shreveport, I would eat Whataburger, and then I would drive straight back. I just love to drive my car and listen to music. I cannot tell you the number of times I've been to Shreveport, Louisiana. Unfortunately, it's kind of a shithole, but in most of the places that I guess if you're down by the casinos, well, he may be from Shreveport, but if he's from Shreveport and he's been around the casinos, he knows it's a fucking shithole. I mean, what do you want me to do? Pretend like it's not? Everybody knows it is. What are you going to do? I did not know you were live, dude. Yeah, what's up, dude? I mentioned it on Discord earlier. But yeah, we're about to have to kill. What time is it? Oh yeah, we're on 3 hours and 15 minutes. They keep coming up with so many good questions though. She's like, it's my time. I went to bed for like 3 hours. You two are mad. I think you went to bed for 3 hours. What source do you use correctly? QSC PCT 247. Those are the businesses that I use. Lunsford is a monster, but those big bubble lats looked hella suspicious on stage. I don't know, man. I think all these guys use synthol. I fucking hate it. It broke my fucking goddamn heart when Jay Cutler admitted to using synthol. That's the one thing that I loathe the most. I wish they would outlaw that in bodybuilding. Take all the shit, the diuretics, the whatever. To me, the biggest fucking lame thing you can do is use synthol. When I was like 185, I actually got accused. I posted a picture on Instagram one time, and some dumb fuck accused me of putting synthol in my shoulders. I was like, really, dude? You think I shot synthol in my shoulders at LA Fitness in the bathroom post-workout for this 185-pound picture? What the fuck is wrong with you? So I don't know if his lats are suspicious or not, but the guy's a monster. All right, we got to put a clock on this. What do you think? Let me know when you divorce. All right. Sure, Dennis.
That could be Denise.
Denise. Oh, you're trying to do something here, huh?
I'm not saying it could be Dennis or Denise.
I think if it was Denise, it'd be an end on an E on the end, wouldn't it?
I think so too.
That was that was your fucking optimism. Mm-hmm. Come on, bro. No, it's personality. Probably should have said that. There's a lot for me. I've dated multiple guys that friends couldn't believe. No one ever talks about American History X. I always feel judged when I say I love that movie. I fucking love that movie. American History X is one of the greatest movies ever made. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about it. I don't know why. Like people, like if you say you like American History X, you get painted as a racist, which makes no sense because the whole point of the movie is all the reasons you shouldn't be racist. So I don't understand why that's a red flag movie. I think it's just smooth-brained, dumbass people that because there's a particular symbol being glorified in the movie, they can't see past it. Obviously, if you think that a person who loves American History X is a racist, then you miss the whole point of the fucking movie. Cape Fear, maybe. I can't remember anything about that movie. Highest test dose you ever ran. Also, if you could only run one other compound alongside test for the rest of your life, except for Tren, Mass, Primo. What the fuck? Highest dose of test I ever ran was 700 or 750. I can't remember. It was an estrogen nightmare, and I didn't stay on it for very long. If I had to run one compound that's not Tren, Mast, and Primo and GH, what would it be and why? Oh, fuck. I mean, probably. Well, now I might say mint. Probably Deca. I guess. Trying to think. I gotta have that joint support, man. Probably Deca. If I couldn't choose Tren, Mast, Primo, GH. I mean, you can't run an oral forever. It'd probably be Deca. Yeah, I feel being usually the biggest, most jacked guy in the room, instant international respect. Absolutely, Brian. That's so awesome, man. It's Creamy Crypto. It's such a shithole here. People see, he even admitted it. People getting killed every day. I'm born and raised in Shreveport. He admitted it. I'm 175, 6 lean. I definitely get a lot more respect now, but I think being short is not as much respect as you'd get lol. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know about the height thing. I know that like is a thing for some people, but fucking Derek Lunsford, what is he? 5'6", 5'4"? I bet he ain't getting fucked with. He's not tall at all. He used to be a 212 guy. I think he's real short. Can we get a ruling on that? Derek's Lunsford height? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Tren will help me get rid of lower belly pouch. Crazy maniac. Tren can definitely help you cut because it. Yeah, Jim, we're about to bounce too. Yeah, so Derek Lunsford's 5'6", probably fucking 260, something crazy.
225.
Well,
contest.
That's not now.
240.
Yeah, but he's not competing in open at 225. He ain't 260, but he's a big fucking dude. See you, Jen. I think this will be the questions are dying, so maybe we should take this last one. Okay, last one. A crazy maniac. Yes, Tren can help you get rid of your lower belly / pouch because it does a number of things. It ramps up your metabolism. It heats up your body. It's protein sparing. It massively enhances your metabolic rate. It seems. There's a lot of reasons why Tren is a really great cutting drug for a lot of people that can't eat on it. So yeah, it can definitely help you with that. I will take this last question. I swear to God, don't even ask another question because I'm not answering it. But I will take Brian Spicer. Don't we know a Spicer?
Derek.
Oh, okay. We know a Spicer, but it's not you. Thoughts on Dr. Tony Huge? I really, in a lot of ways, I like Tony Huge. There's a lot of things I really like about this guy. Where Tony and I kind of started to part paths, I followed a lot of his content for a while. I was really a big fan, honestly. When he started doing those fucking mass blasts, he went too far, in my opinion. And like those mass blasts were fucking asinine. And then I started noticing he had kind of like a lot of hangarounds, and I don't know. Tony kind of shifted gears at one point. I don't know if he got in some legal trouble. I don't know really what he's up to. I think Tony Huge, unfortunately, is probably a fucking scumbag. I think he's probably like the guy I've been talking about in my homeless videos, this guy Nick that I used to run around with. Tony Huge seems like he might be a really dirty, scandalous dude inside. He's got that great personality, and he's funny, and he's crazy, and all of those things. But I think on the inside, this guy's probably low down as fuck. I do like his content. I don't watch much of it anymore because, like I said, like I think I'm the only person that's currently documenting Deca, Tren, and Mint together. And he made a video acting like he was doing them, and then admitted that he was only taking this giant dose of Mint and Tren for 2 days, because then he was going back to the US, and he doesn't try to take any of his shit from Thailand to the US anymore. And so he does a lot of kind of like bullshit content where he tries to pretend like he does these giant doses of drugs. And to his credit, he admitted, like, he was like, so here I am saying I'm going to use it was like 100 milligrams of Mint in some retarded dose of Tren. And he says in the video, like, you're probably wondering, like, why aren't you like a 300-pound mass monster if these are the doses you're taking? And he's like, because I'm only going to do it for 2 days because I'm going back to the States. And it's like, so for 2 days, you banged 100 milligrams of Mint and some gorilla dose of Tren. Like, come on, dude. And so, like, I just kind of can't take him seriously anymore. And so since I don't watch people for purely like entertainment purposes, because I make my own content, it's just not really worth it. He's fine. And then there's the Leo situation. I don't know. Like, I don't know what happened to Leo in fucking Thailand on Tony's watch. I don't know.
Negatively affected his longevity. That's for sure.
Leo definitely did not end up having longevity. I know that's shitty. I didn't like Leo. That's why I'm bagging on him. I have videos on my channel that got a lot of hate because I did not like Leo at all. And I can't, like, I would be lying if I didn't think it was a little bit funny. That dude that literally had a channel named Leo's Longevity fucking didn't make it past like 35 or something. It's just like, I fully expect I'm going to drop dead at any minute. Like, you know, like I should, like, if there's any truth to like, you know, like morals or ethics, or I mean, God should have it out for me.
If the good die young,
well, I'll live forever. But I can't. Connor Murphy, search my YouTube. If you want to know my opinion on Connor Murphy, don't do it. I have to quit this. I can't. I have to resist the temptation. I made a video about Connor Murphy. I made some videos about Leo's Longevity. Look them up. I'm like 30 pounds lighter in those videos. I can't even touch Connor Murphy. That's not even fair. So thank you to everybody. This has been the longest fucking epic live I've ever done. I appreciate every single person who was a part of this. I especially appreciate all of you super tippers. That's fucking awesome, man. I appreciate everybody's support. You guys you guys are always saying that I'm the real one. And the truth is, anybody who can stand to be a member of my audience for any length of time on some level is a real one too. Because you guys are accepting me for who I am with all my faults and all my disgusting bravado and all my shit. And so I fucking love that there's like a community of people who seem to appreciate what I'm trying to do here. And that suggests that you guys in some form or fashion are also real ones too. So I appreciate you. You want to say anything?
Bye.
As always, thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one.